Tonight's officials for the game, referee Mike Packard, umpire Derek Eager, head linesman William Rudney, line judge Tim Tillma, field judge Robert Monick, side judge James Schaefer, back judge Tim Rich.
Well, so far, a very busy evening here at Michigan Tech. Let's head down to the field and get things started tonight. Third member of our broadcast crew is Rebecca Himmelstein.
That's right, guys. I spoke to both of these coaches before the game about what they told these players in the locker room. The Northern coach saying, stay focused, slow the day down, stay in the moment and play your game. Lots more to say than the Tech coach, however, who said nothing. We didn't say anything. And the game is starting. Back to you guys.
Well, so far we've been serenaded by the pep band here at Michigan Tech. We've been treated as some outstanding hospitality, Dave, but now the task at hand, as you see both teams heading out of the field. The Huskies won the toss. They deferred. Northern Michigan will receive the kick here, and back are a couple of speedsters we're going to be talking about here in just a couple of moments. Marcus Tucker and Keyshawn Walker back deep here for the Northern Michigan Wildcats. You see the Huskies in black ready to kick this one off.
It's kind of interesting that Tom Curley had nothing to say, because now, you know, the hay's in the barn, as they say. It's time to see what happened during the week in practice and play the game.
Just a spectacular night for football here in the Copper Country, as it is Marcus Tucker, and he goes straight up the gut, greeted by a host of black jerseys. Northern Michigan will start things off at about the 26-yard line.
Marcus Tucker's a guy who's going to get a lot of looks tonight, Mark. He's a tough wide receiver, big guy on the outside, and Michigan Tech a little short in the defensive backfield. They got one guy back there from last year in Brown that's really a great player, but Tucker will probably be seeing him all night, because that's Northern Michigan's top receiver. We're expecting to see a lot out of number 1 in the white.
Shea Brown gets the start at quarterback. A great game against Michigan Tech a year ago down in the Superior Dome, coming up just a little bit short, as we alluded to. Split receivers either side as Northern Michigan starts the offensive attack. Inside cut. Good gain here for the Wildcats on first down. That'll bring up second down at about 5.
Huskies do not see the spread a lot, and this is the personnel grouping is not one that Tom Curley really puts out there during a lot of the games. So it'll be interesting to see how Northern Michigan attacks it after they spread the field out. You've already seen 3 wideouts on one side of the field, 1 over here, and that back will come sprinting out of the backfield too. They're really spreading it.
And a no-huddle offense here. Shea Brown barks out the call here on second down, officially 6 here, as again the ball just outside the Northern Michigan 30-yard line. Just underway. Beautiful night here in Houghton as the inside handoff again for Northern Michigan. Plenty of room, and still on his feet and across midfield. And for Northern Michigan, the ball carrier here, Paris Woods, and a big gainer here for the Wildcats.
That's the trouble when you arm tackle through the middle, Mark. There's all kinds of room in there. The middle linebacker taken out of it, missed coming up, running up on the play, didn't get a chance to grab that one, as Paul Kuopala really committed to it, but overran on that play, and that really created the room out there for Harris to move down the field.
And so the Wildcats doing what they want to do early. We talked about this earlier or this evening here off camera that Northern Michigan the last couple of weeks has gotten off to a fast start, and it looks like they've got another opportunity here with a gain of 10 on the far sideline.
That's a great play, squeaking through there in that move in front of the bench. That's a lot of Husky defenders that are over on that play, but the little swing pass that goes out there, no problem on that for Trey Hipke. Look at that great move to get in between two Husky defenders and have 6 guys around him come up with the first down. Nice play.
So Wildcats on the move here to start things off. Just underway, 13:33 and counting. Here in the opening quarter, first drive for either team. Shea Brown with a little bit of a delay. Quick swing over to the far sideline, dropped. And a second down and 10 coming up here for Northern Michigan.
That's that battle we're going to watch on the outside all night. Cedric Jones from Michigan Tech, the senior defensive back. He's going to be tasked with stopping Marcus Tucker, the senior wide receiver out there. They are the top threat and the top shutdown guy for this team. That's the game within the game that we're going to be watching all night.
So the Wildcats look to the sideline, split receivers both sides here for Shea Brown. And Harris, the lone man in the backfield for him as we bring up second down and 10 from just inside the Husky 35-yard line. Slap of the hand, Harris again, tripped up from behind. He had an opening there, Dave. Falls forward for a gain of about 3, but just shoestring tackle brings him down.
Oh, Paul Kuopala made up for that last play with a big run in there. Just a strong hand to get on top of the foot of the back, coming through that hole. That's a very aggressive play for the linebacker, the senior from Iron Mountain, moving his hand through on the inside and making sure that ball was not going to go very far.
So an injury timeout as the Huskies will tend to fallen player here after that play. This gives both teams a chance to head to the sideline here, regroup defensively here for Michigan Tech, and for Northern Michigan figure out what they're going to do on third down and long. That's their first opportunity with third and long, as they've been picking up some good yardage on first and second down.
Well, they've been able to get plays in big chunks right now too, Mark. This is not a team that's going to go out there and start grinding it out in 3 yards and a cloud of those little rubber granules that are on the field now. They want to pick up big chunks of yardage, and they've been able to so far. The question now is, as they spread things out, are they going to continue to run that ball up the middle? Does Tech now have to collapse a linebacker back into the middle of the field to respect that draw coming up the middle? Or can they commit to the outside knowing this is a long yardage situation and put somebody else back into coverage? You know, the one thing that takes away all those pass coverage issues is to get a pass rush. And we haven't seen any Husky offensive or defensive linemen into the backfield yet. Been a pretty clean game so far for Shea Brown, who's a very experienced quarterback.
Well, the advantage for him, too, quick hitches. He gets that snap from center, and they swing it out either side, and really not much of a chance for the pass rush, as you see the Michigan Tech player. That's Garrett Ross, the sophomore out of Waterford, being helped to the sideline, and hate to see that with absolutely no pressure being put on that left leg. So 3rd and 9 as the play resumes here. And a beautiful night for football here at Sherman Field in Houghton. We'll be under the lights here shortly, but the sun's starting to set, and from what we're told, a very large moon coming up directly across from us here in just a little while.
Watch number 35, Ben Talkin, in the middle of the field right now for Michigan Tech, Mark. Will he come, or is he drop back into coverage? And he did.
Swing out, far side. Wildcats trying to get a quick hitter, and they do up near a first down. I believe the Wildcats have got it as they cross it down to about the 22, 23-yard line here of Michigan Tech.
Austin Young, the senior from Escanaba. That's a great play on the outside. Looked like he was going to be bottled up right when he got to the yard marker there, but 2 Husky defenders not able to bring him down. Number 23 picks up a very important first down. 11 yards on a 3rd and 9 is good return.
And the Wildcats, again, no monkeying around here to the line of scrimmage, and away we go. Shea Brown looks over the defense here on 1st down and 10. And again, the Wildcats marching here in the first drive of the football game. Inside Harris again, this time to about the 20. And the Michigan Tech defense on the interior side here, Dave, nice job to bottle them up.
They pinched down on that one, Mark. I think they've figured out when the draw is coming, whether there's a tell back there right now that says wherever the back is lined up back there along with Shea Brown. Now are they getting a read on that's going to be when that run's coming up the middle. So far, Northern's been able to disguise those and spring the back out of the backfield, but they haven't really gone directly up the middle a lot either. Kind of going outside the tackles and giving them that space right in the flat when it's being vacated by the receivers.
3 receivers left. Tucker is the lone man split to the right here for the Wildcats on 2nd down and 9, and a delay. They almost looked like they were trying to pull it out of Harris's midsection. He wound up taking it from the quarterback Brown for virtually Oh, we're going to give him about 1.5 yards on the game. That didn't look good from the start.
Kind of looked like one of those you expect a guy to turn one way and he turns the other. And they kind of bumped into each other back there. That lost the momentum. There might have been a seam in there, but the Huskies able to collapse on that one when they diagnosed that was going to be a handoff on the inside. And again, 3rd and long. Huskies have had a problem so far this year, Mark, getting off the field on 3rd down. That was a big point of emphasis for them coming into the week.
So here are the Wildcats on 3rd down and officially 8 from the 20-yard line. A little longer of a snap count for Brown. Going to lob this one deep towards the corner of the end zone. It is brought in and incomplete. Tucker there and just not able to hold on.
Boy, almost a great over-the-shoulder grab on that one. Tucker just couldn't locate it in time, had it in his hands, couldn't come up with it down there. Was a flag back on this play, too. Was there a roughing the passer?
Offsides, Michigan Tech. Well, he holds on to that, and that's a great touchdown catch. So a break for the Wildcats here. It's going to bring up 3rd down, a little bit more manageable at 3rd down, and about 3. They got it closer to about 2.5, actually.
Tucker really looked upset that he did not come up with that ball there, Mark. Slammed it down on the turf, but a little reprieve for Northern Michigan. 3rd and 2, a lot of options here for what Shea Brown can do to attack the Husky defense inside the red zone.
Aaron Harris will join him in the backfield. And a man in motion now for the Wildcats on 3rd down, officially 3. Harris inside, cuts to his right, trying to fall forward, and he is going to be right just shy of the marker here. Looks to be 4th down and very, very short here for Northern Michigan.
I think he got it. Ben Talkin had the hand in there and wasn't going to let him get there. Really not any closer on that play, but a great play by the Northern Michigan tailback to get some more yards. I think they'll call him down back there, though. The second effort looked like he had it. Not going to give it to him, so it's 4th down.
So here we go. In a rivalry game, you go for it on 4th down, despite the fact the Wildcats well within field goal range here. The ball sitting at the 13-yard line. And, well, they tried to draw them offside. Flags stayed in the pockets, and this is going to be, I believe, Dave, a little bit short.
I'm not sure. It looks like it might be enough, Mark, but it's hard to tell with how far back on the other side of the field those markers are. They are going to give it to Michigan Tech. Not even the measurement. I'm surprised at that.
So Northern Michigan with a very impressive opening drive gets it down into Husky territory, the 13th, and will turn it over on downs.
So the guy that's certainly running the show for Michigan Tech now is Brandon Cowie. 2 years as an all-GLIAC wide receiver, now moves back under center. He's now the quarterback as a junior, and one of the things that Northern Michigan has to watch out for him, this is a mobile quarterback who is not afraid to run the ball. Brandon Cowie is a threat both running and throwing, so we'll see where he starts out.
And at 6'3", 220, he's not someone you want coming right at you. Give right side through the hole, Michigan Tech out to the 20-yard line. Good gainer on 1st down.
Always helps to settle your team down when you can start to get those big gainers up the middle like that, Mark. An easy inside handoff. Let's just let Tanner Keisers go through the middle, find a seam, and lean into those defenders. Got an extra 2 yards at the end of that. 2nd and 2 is a lot better than 2nd and 4.
Shotgun both teams, not afraid to spread the offense out a little bit. And a little waggle there by Michigan Tech. And Cowie across, complete, dropped. Right there at the 25-yard line, brings up 3rd down and 2.
We talked to Tom Curley this week during practice. One of the 2 things that he wanted to watch out for were the linebackers of Northern Michigan. Levi Perry and L.J. Liston are really effective in the middle of the field. And you saw in there Perry go out. He can cover on the pass. He can step up and take care of the run. Those are very effective linebackers on the inside. One a senior in Perry, the junior Liston. They're a key to that Northern Michigan defense. Can the line keep them clean so they can be the playmakers?
3rd and a pair here for Michigan Tech, deep in their own territory. Here's Cowie, cuts to his right, a good opening there. He got the corner, out to the 30. Heading towards midfield, and he'll step out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. Good heads-up play. You talked about his mobility, and a great example of it there.
I mean, he's big. He's not a little quarterback. You would think, the option guys are the little 5'7", 5'8" guys. That is certainly not Brandon Cowie, who's 6'3" and 220, but he gets moving like a runaway truck on the outside there. That is a huge gain. Not many people on the perimeter for Northern Michigan. They thought that ball was coming up the middle. Michigan Tech able to fool him on that one. Even if Cowie didn't keep that ball, still had the option pitch available too.
Slot receiver goes in motion now for Michigan Tech, and they give that Keisers once again. And he'll pop it forward to about the 45-yard line for Michigan Tech. That's going to bring up 2nd down at about 7. They'll make that Miller again on the carry. Kevin Miller, junior out of Farmington Hills. He's a load too at 6'1", 210, built very low to the ground and tough to bring down.
You can tell it's a warm night down there on the sidelines. The Husky players in those black jerseys probably pretty fortunate that the sun has gone behind the trees here at Sherman Field, but still a beautiful evening for college football.
Well, you made the comment earlier. Who thought you'd be sitting on the beach at this time listening to college football earlier today like you were? Just spectacular. Michigan Tech moving the football through the line and into Northern Michigan territory. And popping through once again is Kevin Miller. And the 6'1" junior, first down Huskies into the Wildcats end of the field.
That's a good, strong run through the middle, Mark. Committing to where your guys make the hole and then push your way through. If he stands there and hesitates or stutter steps, doesn't make it through that seam. You got to trust the hole is going to be there, go up and hit it.
So both offenses moving the football here. We just don't have anything on the scoreboard to show for it just yet. As Cowie will call it up out of the shotgun. Good head and shoulder fake. He'll step up and run. And Cowie's got some room towards the middle. Now he slides just shy of a first down for Michigan Tech. That's going to spot the football at the 34-yard line of Northern Michigan.
Well, you just don't know if he's going to slide, though. This is a huge guy in there. He may drop a shoulder to try to go after a linebacker. You got to think about that if you're a Northern Michigan defender. But big, strong guy like that, you could see him tuck that ball. And Brandon Cowie, as a wide receiver, didn't get that kind of protection before, so he's used to taking those hits over the middle. That's a physical guy down there, and we can see already his feet have keyed this drive for Michigan Tech.
Cowie give, and to the right side once again for Kevin Miller, and he's got a Husky first down approaching the Northern Michigan 25-yard line.
Huskies moving the ball very effectively, Mark. Not the big chunks down the field. They're starting to wear down that Northern Michigan defense, who has not subbed much on this. You can see the calls coming in over on the side. They don't shuttle players in. They'll keep the same 11 out there as much as they can. Michigan Tech now pushing the tempo a little bit on the attack.
So split receivers left, lone receiver to the right side on first down. And this opens up the playbook a little bit here for Michigan Tech as well, as Cowie calls out the signals, and he'll give it to the backfield once again. And Miller through a hole, ran into a pile, and he's got about 7 or 8 here for Michigan Tech.
Same thing again. I mean, you don't see a lot of holes when we're watching from up here. There's just a seam, and the only way you get through a seam is to attack without even thinking what's on the other side. That's just trusting where your linemen are putting those holes for you. It's a good play on the inside, and there's only one way you can do it. You got to just go with a reckless abandon through that gap.
So Michigan Tech now with 6:48 to go here in the opening quarter. Keeping it on the ground for the most part. And once again, Miller, this time he is met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, brings up 3rd down and 4. And we'll see now if Northern Michigan can perhaps turn the tables, as Michigan Tech took over on downs down deep in their own territory back to the 13.
That was a great move on the line by Malik Smith from Northern Michigan, fighting away and getting off of his blocker, shedding that to go on the inside. Knew that was coming back on the in, and was able to meet the running back in the backfield and create this 3rd down.
So ball sits right in the crown of the field here. Clock continues to spin. 6:12 in the opening quarter. Cowie all by himself now. Step back, quarterback draw. Got through the original line of scrimmage and falls forward, and a 1st down for Michigan Tech.
Designed the whole way. He wasn't going to do anything but tuck that one and go. And it looked like for a while he was going to be stopped short. But Brandon Cowie's a guy that's really driven on the field. From West Bend West in Wisconsin, as we said, a 2-time All-GLIAC performer, but that was when he was a receiver. We're seeing this guy was a good high school quarterback too, Mark. Tom Curley was very impressed with what he did out there to be able to make that transition between the two things on the field. It's not easy to be a wide receiver going to a quarterback.
Injury timeout, so we'll take a break as well. No score, Tech marching. Back in a moment on TV6. Yeah, we got 2 of them we got to get in.
Yeah.
10 and 5. And
it's good we're not really missing anything or slowing anything down this way either. Hi, Rebecca. Oh, hold on. You're muted.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. I have information about Garrett Ross if you want it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I talked to the team's physician.
Bruce Trusock.
What?
Bruce
This guy right
Trusock,
now?
right?
Yeah, the physician.
Yeah,
I
Dr.
spoke with
Dr.
him.
Trusock.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
not coming back. He's done for the night.
Okay,
His
that's good.
left knee is all wrapped. Can you hear me?
Okay, yep, we'll come back to you.
Okay.
yeah,
I can't
go right
really-
down. We'll go right down to you.
Do I need camera or no?
No,
Okay.
Okay. What's a physician's name? Trusack?
Bruce Trusock.
Trusack. Okay.
Trusock, like
Two
wearing your
socks,
shoes.
like 2 pairs of
Yep.
socks. Okay. They're not. The camera's not on me, right?
Back at Sherman Field, another Michigan Tech injury. Let's go down to Rebecca Himmelstein and get a report from what happened earlier tonight. Rebecca?
Yeah, that's right, guys. Garrett Ross came off a little bit ago, and I spoke with the team's physician, Dr. Trusak, about his injury. His left knee is all iced up. He's got crutches, and he will be done for the night and not returning. Back to you guys.
All right, Rebecca, thanks very much. And again, at this time of the season here, Dave, this is when you start to see stuff like this, unfortunately, kind of start to take its toll a little bit. Now, two seem to be key injuries here for Michigan Tech, but we have regrouped. And here's Cowie on first down from the Northern 18-yard line. And they'll give, once again, Miller looking for the seam, found a bit of a hole down to the 10. That's a good gain on what didn't look like he had a whole lot of room to maneuver.
Well, Josh Knopke, number 75, was the guy we saw just taken off the field for Michigan Tech. So if you got to put a substitute left tackle in, why don't you run to the right, see what goes on the other side of the field. That's a good cut on the inside by the Husky ball carrier to get that ball down to the 10-yard line. I'm pretty impressed so far with what Michigan Tech has been able to do between the tackles running the ball, Mark.
So again, single receiver either side here for the Huskies on first down, or second down and 3 rather. So Cowie calls out the signals, waits. Harris inside, cuts towards the goal line. It's going to be first down at about the 3 here for Michigan Tech. And very elusive runner is Miller. He doesn't look like he's going to get much approaching the line of scrimmage. The next thing you know, Dave, he's through.
Watch him turn the shoulder here, Mark, when he gets into the hole to get that one little move and over the top of the defender. A couple of Northern defenders in there, but not able to stop that one from going for the first down. Let's see if he gets a chance to cash it in at the end of the drive now.
So the Wildcats moved the football on their opening drive, only to be stopped on downs. Now Michigan Tech started this one at their own 13-yard line, and they'll give Miller wrapped up. He falls forward. It'll be no gain on the play. Second down and goal here for the Huskies.
That was well diagnosed by the defensive line for Northern Michigan. They've been pushed around a couple times here, Mark, but came on a little stunt off the end there to make sure that nobody was going to make it through that first gap. Now it's the second gap they're watching for. Can the Huskies identify where those other seams are going to be? Like we said, you just have to trust the hole is going to be there, and if it's not, you're going to run into a wall. That's what happened with Northern Michigan's defenders that time.
So second and goal, as you hear from Mitch Lake, longtime public address announcer here at both Sherman Field and, well, gosh, the McGinnis Student Ice Arena and just about everywhere else up here in the Copper Country. Cowie pitched this time. Miller's got an opening, buried quickly after a gain of about a yard. That's going to bring up third down and goal from about the 1.
What an attack on that one by Walker coming to the outside. Found a way out there to shed any kind of blockers. 2 Northern Michigan defenders in the flat. Huskies going away from that between the tackles run and trying to go to the outside, and Miller not able to find anything.
So Miller lines up as the eye in the backfield once again. Brandon Cowie with a pair of receivers out to the right side on this one. Third down and goal. Cowie on the keeper. He's got trouble, got a man in the end zone, and touchdown Michigan Tech. They take the lead with 3:24 rather to go here in the opening quarter.
Levi Perry was coming hard from the outside, and Cowie did not have much time to make that throw, Mark, but just enough to lob it back over the top. You can see he didn't have much of a room in there, but able to put it in, and that's a great catch on the outside. When you're falling down and the ball is just kind of hanging on like that, Alex Sherman, a kid from Marquette, Michigan, that's a big catch for him to score one against the Wildcats.
Andrew Clark will snap it. Jake Brown will hold it. Josh King, the sophomore out of Denton, Texas, will try the extra point. It is up, it is through, it is 7-0 Tech. Husky kick is yours when we return here on TV6.
Anytime tonight, 10%.
Okay. I was kind of hoping that the lunar eclipse would be tonight.
Wouldn't that be something
tomorrow,
else?
Yeah.
Fans, that Husky scoring drive covered 87 yards, took 15 plays, and 6 minutes and 57 seconds. The end result, a 2-yard
How long? 6?
pass
57.
from Collin to Sherman. Huskies lead 7-0.
87 yards, 15 plays. It took 6 minutes and 57 seconds for Michigan Tech to claim the lead here, 7-0. And again, Dave, that is after a defensive stop when Northern Michigan had been moving the ball on their initial drive. We'll see if the Wildcats now can't continue that momentum from earlier in this quarter.
The Cats, their last 2 games at home, Mark, raced out to big leads early in the game and then just kind of coasted from there. They will not be afforded that in this game, as the Huskies are the team to draw first blood. Both coaches said that was going to be an important part of the game, and Tom Curley got it.
So the Huskies will kick off one more time here to Marcus Tucker. He'll drop back to around his own 4-yard line. And the Wildcats will look. Tucker cuts left side, looking for a seam. He's got it out to around the 30-yard line, just shy of the 30. Decent field position here for Northern Michigan.
Boy, he made that cut back to the inside, and I thought he had more room going to the sideline there. Had the Husky defender kind of crossed up on his feet. But looks like he got banged up a little bit on that play there, too. Tucker fell hard when he came back onto the field. But for a 2-time team captain, he's not going to be gone from this game for long. Marcus Tucker is a threat. Anytime he touches the ball, Northern Michigan needs him on the field. He's been a very effective player throughout his 4-year career.
So now it's Shea Brown's chance once again here with the offense at Northern Michigan. They go no huddle, they go spread, and we'll see exactly what we can see here from the Wildcats now trailing by a touchdown. Man in motion here to the near side. And the Wildcats will give, cut left to the sideline. Not much there for Northern Michigan. As, again, the Wildcats cutting up with Terrence Dye, a senior. He's out of Grand Blanc. And Dye with a gain of about a yard on the play to the far sideline.
Cedric Jones came hard from the outside from his cornerback spot on that one, Mark, but missed him in the backfield. We've seen pretty much every time the Northern Michigan ball carriers are making that first tackler miss, and that's been a big reason why they've been able to wrap off those yards.
So the Wildcats now second down, officially 9 from the 29-yard line of their own. Shea Brown looking, dropping, man out of the backfield once again is Dye. He steps out of bounds after a gain of about 4 on the play, brings up third down, and about 6 or 7 here for the Wildcats.
Tucker back on the field on that one, stretching the defense by moving him down there. There was lots of room over in the flat, all kinds of space on the inside. You can see that's almost too easy for Northern Michigan to get somebody out there. Kuopala able to come over and finally make that stop, but that's a lot of room out there for Northern Michigan. You can see how much Michigan Tech respects the deep ball.
Third down, Northern Michigan. Brown, far sideline, overshot everybody. Good coverage on that far sideline by Michigan Tech, and Brown really, not a bad idea to actually get rid of that one because there was a lot of black jerseys surrounding the receiver on that far sideline.
Yeah, Keandre Craig was really surrounded by, like you said, those 2 Husky defenders. Probably better in that case as a veteran quarterback like Shea Brown. Just throw it away, come back the next drive. We'll let the defense take over from here, and we'll see what they can do on the special teams to get a good punt off here.
So Solani will kick this one away. He's a junior out of Kenosha, Wisconsin. And he stands at about his own 20-yard line, gets it off a high wobbly kick that the Huskies will fair catch at the 38-yard line of their own. So great field position here for Tech starting this drive.
Well, the Huskies so far able to kind of grind out that drive. As we said, almost 7 minutes after they got the ball to move it down the field. That's one way to keep a player like Shea Brown off of the scoreboard is make him go sit down on the bench on the far side. But Northern Michigan right now, you can see on their sideline making some adjustments. The Cats know that they've got lots of time in this game. A 7-0 lead obviously is certainly not insurmountable. It's the kind of thing right now that, okay, if we didn't get the first score, let's go and get the second one. And now it's up to the Northern Michigan defense to prevent that from happening for the Huskies.
John Williams down in the backfield here for Michigan Tech. He's a sophomore out of White Lake, and he's got the football looked left, wrapped up there by a host of white jerseys. And for the first time tonight here, Dave, we see a loss on a play. This is our first negative play we've seen in the entire ballgame.
Levi Perry, number 8, one of the guys that we talked about, those playmaking linebackers from Northern Michigan, able to shoot the gap on the inside, and he kind of made that runner stop, stutter step a little bit, and usually when that happens, when you've got the ball, that's a bad thing because the defenders can swarm you immediately, and right in the middle of that pack, Perry was leading them in on the hunt.
So Cowie stands by himself in the backfield, and again, as you mentioned earlier, this doesn't mean throw. He's a definite running threat, and that's what he does. Looks to his right, big pile of white jerseys. He may have got back to the original line of scrimmage here, Dave, but that brings up 3rd down and 10.
Tackled by
That's very
Buxton.
disciplined defense in there by Northern Michigan, Mark, to not read that play and try to scramble around and go hunt for the quarterback. Good play on the inside by Northern Michigan to shut that back down, make sure that the runner is not going to escape, get the first guy to tie him up, and make sure the next guy can knock him down.
Under a minute to go here, first quarter, a rapid moving first quarter here at Sherman Field in Houghton. Cowie drops straight back. Here comes the rush. They pick it up. They look across the middle. First down for the Huskies into Wildcat territory and down to about the 43-yard line. Hauling that in for Michigan Tech is 81 Andrew Clark. He is a senior out of Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin. And the Huskies moving the football.
Block on the inside by Ian Fisher right after this one through the middle of the field. Boom! That got another 7 yards on that play. That's good, helping out for your players on the outside. You don't catch the ball, you can still be effective out there.
So Cowie will line it up, and a quick turnaround here by Michigan Tech. Cowie fakes the inside handoff. They go near sideline. It is caught. The Wildcat defender, I think, thought the Husky player was going to fall down. But keeping his feet for Michigan Tech is, I'm looking at the wrong numbers here. Number 11, that's David Walter, the junior out of Midland. And watch the defender just either lost his balance or lost sight of the receiver, but a big first down again for Michigan Tech.
David Walter, a great story up here, a legacy on both sides of the family. His dad was a record-setting quarterback back in the 1980s, and his mom, Deandra Poyfair, was a point guard on the basketball team.
Dad would be proud as the Huskies end the first period leading 7-0. Back with more Tech Northern in a moment here on TV6.
During the third quarter break, that person will have 3 minutes to get to the press box and claim their prize. If the prize isn't claimed within 3 minutes, the cash rolls over to the next game, becoming an even bigger cash prize. It's that easy, no strings attached. $100 at every home game because Domino's delivers the dough. Fans, for the most up-to-date information on the Michigan Tech athletics, visit the Huskies on the World Wide Web at MichiganTechHuskies.com. Students, you're welcome and encouraged to go to the Career Fest tailgate party under the tent in the end zone. They've got free coney dogs, mini ribs, and pulled pork sliders. And company reps want to meet you, and they want to talk jobs. It's going on right now in the end zone. Fans, students, you're welcome to the Career Fest tailgate party under the tent in the end zone.
.120 yards of total offense for Michigan Tech, 59 for Northern Michigan, as you get a look at the almost overflow crowd here at Sherman Field on a spectacular UP night for college football. Brandon Cowie on 1st and 10 here for Michigan Tech. Give. Right through the gut they go, and getting blasted after a first down. is the Michigan Tech Husky running back, John Williams. We talked about him earlier. Kind of a slippery little run that time. And you mentioned this earlier, Dave. It doesn't look like a lot from there at the line of scrimmage sometimes, and then boom, right through that hole he goes. And that's all that they need, and they're getting some great yardage here, are the Michigan Tech Huskies.
Good block on the inside by the center, Joe View, to be able to seal off the Northern Michigan defender coming in there. That's what created the gap that Williams ran through and picked up big yardage.
So the Huskies knocking on the door again inside the 20-yard line of Northern Michigan. As the Wildcats, 2 possessions in that first quarter, moved the ball nicely on the first one. Second one really struggled, as this time again it is Williams, not much, maybe a gain of 3 as he hits down to about the 15-yard line.
Tom Curley kind of platooning his running backs here. Miller got one drive, and now Williams will get the next one. So keep everybody fresh that way, and kind of a different look as well.
So the Huskies taking their time a little bit on this drive. You don't see the quick no huddle like we saw a little bit earlier.
No, but nobody in danger of getting down on that play clock, though.
Oh, no,
I don't think
no.
we've got anywhere near 15 seconds on it yet.
Cowie out of the shotgun with a man in motion here for the Huskies on 2nd down and 7. Quick swing hitched out to the left side, and this will be a Husky first down. And again, a quick hitch, a quick swing out there to Ian Weinke out of Kingsford, Michigan. And a first down for the Huskies once again, brings up 1st down and goal.
You know, that's a great matchup when you can get him on a defensive end out there. That's Malik Smith trying to chase down the wide receiver on the outside, and did a good job of it to go out there and make sure that no corner was going to be turned on that one by Weinke.
Already leading 7-0. Here comes Michigan Tech again. 1st and goal, officially at the 7-yard line. So Brandon Cowie will look things over here for the Huskies. And they'll give one more time, approaching the goal line, pumping the feet, not able to get there is Williams this time, but he is going to be just shy, maybe a yard or so on 2nd down coming up.
That's a good gain on a 1st and 7 in there. If you can get 5 on the first push into the end of the field, Williams just kind of pushing those feet down in there all the way down to the 2-yard line. And if you can get 5 on every play, you tend to be a pretty successful offense.
Kind of reminds you of the old Woody Hayes conversations from years gone by. 5 yards, 3 yards, just go get it. And that's what the Huskies are doing right now. And really nothing sexy about this. They're just punching the ball straight ahead.
Well, we'll see if they can keep it moving now with 10 seconds of the play clock.
So Cowie out of the shotgun one more time. This time he will keep and get wrapped up in a loss on the play of about 7. Great play. Northern Michigan defensively when they needed it.
Dante Holmes came shooting through the middle on that one. Watch him on the outside. Nobody blocked him. Left him alone because they were trying to split the blocker out for Cowie to follow when he got to the corner. The problem is, if somebody goes along the back door of that one, like Holmes did on that play, he can blow it up, and he certainly did. That's a great play by the senior from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
6'4", 230, and mobile as well. 3rd and goal now, backed it up to the 7-yard line. Cowie sends a man in motion. And he looks with pressure to the end zone, just overshot his man, as getting up into the air for Michigan Tech was Walter. We talked about him a moment ago, and the Wildcat defense bends, doesn't break yet on this break, sends up a field goal try here for Michigan Tech.
Smith and Holmes did not allow Cowie to step into that throw like he would have liked to, and I think that's part of the reason the ball sailed a little bit. They also made him go a little bit early because Walter had not completed his break on that post pattern, still hadn't completely broken through. Good job by the Northern Michigan defense to hold this to a field goal attempt.
So this will be from 24 yards, and King puts it up. And Josh King punts it through, and it's 10-0 in favor of Michigan Tech. We will take a break. The Husky kick is yours when we return to Houghton after this on TV 6.
I have an interview.
Okay.
Oh, wait, but the camera guy's walking.
The event is a chance for fans to hear in-depth interviews and ask questions to Michigan Tech coaches. Admission is free, and the Mind Shaft will offer drink and food specials during the show with many door prizes to be handed out. Among the door prizes at each event is a $50 Mind Shaft gift certificate along with Michigan Tech Athletics apparel. Next Huskies Night Out is scheduled for Monday, October 5th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We hope to see you there at the Mine Shaft in Houghton. scoring drive. Took 11 plays to cover 55 yards. 5 minutes off the...
So trailing 10-0 now, the Northern Michigan Wildcats will get another crack at this one. Third offensive drive here of the football game. Marcus Tucker, Keyshawn Walker back deep. After the field goal attempt, good by Josh King.
Another long drive for the Huskies.
Just looking at that.
11 plays, 55 yards, a little over 5 minutes off the clock. And those two scoring drives, the Huskies have taken more than 12 minutes off that clock.
So ball is in the air, and one more time for Tucker, and he's going to back up to his own 2 this time. And Tucker with a head of steam cuts right, tripped up the 15-yard line. And that's a good play for Michigan Tech as Tucker had some green in front of him. He doesn't get the shoelace tackle right there.
That's very good hand in there by Spencer Moran to be able to get a hand on that one, Mark. That was an ankle breaker kind of play that Tucker had a great cut down in there, just kind of reaching back at the last second. That's why you go to the weight room and get those strong hand exercises in there. Spencer Moran able to trip him up.
So Shea Brown and the Northern Michigan offense trying to get something going here. Again, we've mentioned this earlier. They moved the football first drive. Got stopped on downs at the Tech 13-yard line. Second drive for the Wildcats not nearly as effective as Shea Brown actually starts this drive under center. He will fake and a screen to the right side. Little juke move there and a gain of about 6 yards on the play. That is Edward Christian on the reception. He is a freshman out of Bellwood, Illinois. And a big load there at 5'11", 242. That's something to stop right there.
Brown took a hit to make that play as the defender had left the corner. But good play for Northern Michigan to pick up some yards there and start the drive off right with a 6-yard gain on first down.
Clock continues to roll, 11:29 here until halftime.
Tom Curley watching from the outside, looks a little worried right now if he sees something on this play.
Shea Brown again out of the shotgun. Quick swing pass over to the right flat and a first down for the Wildcats. First time we had a chance to say that here a little bit, Dave, as they moved it out across 30-yard line.
That's a good job to get to the outside and find some room out there, Mark. If you got effective players on the outside that can do something with the ball like Keandre Craig can do, get him out there. Get your playmakers in space where they can do something. You saw that great move that he made right around Cedric Jones, the best defensive back for the Huskies. It's a good sign for Northern Michigan that they are starting to make some hay against the best parts of the Husky defense.
So Brown again is going to duck under center, and he's going to bring some of his receivers actually in closer this time. And they're going to give to the backfield to Harris once again. Gain of about 2 just across the 30-yard line. Brings up second down at about 8.
Didn't look like he had the handle on the ball right away coming through that hole there. Had to protect it coming through, and that may have taken a little bit out of the steam on the run on that one. And there is a huge super moon coming up just above the light poles. Right, as we watch from Sherman Field here. I know there's that big lunar eclipse coming tomorrow. What a beautiful sight from out there. Not a cloud in the sky, and the moon, I think, doing just as good a job lighting this field as the lights are right now. That is one bright heavenly body. Oh,
what a spectacular night here. We're so glad you could join us here on TV6 for this great rivalry that dates back to 1920 as Shea Brown goes across the seam, and he's got a receiver. That is Tucker for a first down. He's out to midfield for the Wildcats.
Like we talked about with him, Mark, what a stop-and-go move there right at the sticks. Looked like he could have been stopped right there, short of the first down, but watch the footwork. Both feet planted right around the defender, picks up another 4 or 5 yards. That's a great move for a wide receiver. He's the kind of guy that you look for moves like that when you go to the second level. When he can get to that space on the inside, if he would have gotten his feet back, Tucker could have been going a lot further than that.
Shea Brown barks out the signals now back at his own 40-yard line. Quick hitter inside, going nowhere. And the Wildcats that time got wrapped up in an awful hurry. Harris was the ball carrier, and a loss on the play here, Dave, of about 3.
Brandon Hutchinson wants more of that too, Mark, showing that feed me, keep me in here. And he stays on the field for that. You get that reward when you make the big plays on the inside. All right, son, let's go out there and do it one more time. Good play by Brandon to shake off that tackle on the inside and meet the ball carrier in the hole, wrap up at the same time.
10-0 Tech. Both offenses fairly efficient here, and with that, a rapid-moving football game. We're down to 9:15 until halftime already here in the Copper Country. Shea Brown looks, big rush, and they bury him back at the 35-yard line.
Where did that come from? Tanner Agan shooting through that hole and with company coming in too. Watch the rush from the outside, Mark. The two offensive linemen from Northern Michigan didn't look like Josh Krim knew who he was supposed to block. He looked for 2 guys, and they were both going through on the other sides. That looked like a missed assignment on the Northern Michigan offensive line to allow that kind of pressure.
And that's not someone you want to miss either. It's 6'3", 295. They get a big kid out of Kaukauna, Wisconsin, and he winds up burying Shea Brown. This is going to bring up third down and about 20 here for the Wildcats. Quick to the line of scrimmage they go. And a slap of the hand for Brown. He goes back. Now he needs some help. He's going to get out of there for a moment. Near back to the line of scrimmage, but still a loss on the play. And our first punt of the ball game will be wearing green and gold.
Brandon Hutchinson had himself a drive on that one, Mark. Got some help on the inside because Brown tried to step up in the pocket, but Hutchinson able to fight off a block of the Northern Michigan captain on the inside. Kyle Stook not able to hold him off, and Michigan Tech able to knock Northern Michigan off the field and force the punt.
So Solani back once again. I stand corrected. Wildcats did punt in the first quarter. So Solani standing back at about his own 17-yard line. No wind at all to speak of here as he gets off a wobbly kick. The kicker got knocked down, and the referee looked right at it. There is absolutely no flag anywhere, and we owe you a break, and we'll do it just now. 10-0 Michigan Tech. We're back in a moment here on TV6.
Michigan Tech's 94th season of hockey begins in October. Season tickets are available now. The John J. McGinnis Student Ice Arena continues to be one of the best venues for college hockey in the country, with great sight lines and a 14-feet wide video scoreboard. Fans won't miss any of the action. Tickets may be purchased at buyhuskiestickets.com or by calling 906-487-2073. Get ready for Husky hockey.
You can look at the Michigan Tech sideline, amped up, leading 10-0, and again getting the football back, Dave, after a great defensive stand there, forcing third and make that fourth and about 22 for the Wildcats before they kicked it away.
Well, like we said for those first couple of drives, Mark, when you're getting pass pressure in there, that makes up for a lot of things that could go wrong out in the field when you're trying to cover receivers all over the place. The easiest way to defend a quarterback from looking for 5 or 6 receivers is to plant him on his backside. So tough couple of plays in there for Shea Brown, who was not really given much of a chance to escape either. Most of that rush from Michigan Tech before had been coming from the perimeter. Now they're soaking from both sides in a pincher movement, and there's nowhere to go.
So the Huskies on home field here, leading 10-0. Heading into their bye week as well. That's also something you mentioned here for the Michigan Tech Huskies. It's tonight and then a couple of weeks off before they entertain Saginaw Valley. Or Grand Valley, I believe they're coming in here. Yep, so a gain on the play here of about 4 for the Huskies. And again, very methodical here, Dave. You just see them consistently getting those little hitches, little hits right here, and just very, very methodically moving the football.
This is going to be a Williams drive. He got the first carry on that one, so Kevin Miller will be watching from the outside. We'll see if that rotation continues by the drive or if they're going to start alternating by plays. But Williams will stay in for this one in the backfield with Cowie.
2nd and 6. Ball sits right at the 30-yard line. And Cowie with a nice play fake gets the pass complete to the 35. It's going to be just shy. And it'll bring up 3rd down and short here for Michigan Tech. Nice job, Northern Michigan defensively to sniff that out. But again, Cowie getting that pass in there quickly.
Again, that's Perry, the guy that we've seen blowing up things on the outside. Now he's out covering passers as well. That's a valuable player out there wearing number 8 in the white. Like we talked about, those two guys, I think, have been really impressive so far, but Michigan Tech able to keep away from them and not let the defensive line keep those guys clean.
They give to the fullback, and popping up for a first down by the Michigan Tech Huskies. They got it just right at the boundary.
Alex Sherman is a kid who grew up in Marquette watching Northern Michigan football and always said that the 2 games he looked forward to the most watching every year were Grand Valley, of course, who was a national power then, and, of course, when the Huskies would come to town. He's seen this rivalry from both sides, both as a Northern fan and now as a Tech player. I'm betting he's not as much of a Northern fan tonight.
And I'm sure Mom and Dad probably are wearing a nice heap and helping of black and gold here tonight as well. As Cowie, little screen up the middle, and they swarm it under, does the Northern Michigan defense. That looked like it was going to spring for a little bit more than it did, Dave. Nice coverage, but still a gain on the play of around 5.
It looked like Williams kind of lost his footing after he got the ball. They soaked in the Northern Michigan defense well, but watch on the inside, just kind of lost his foot right there and almost had the knee down all the way in the backfield. Able to come up with 7 more yards past that, but that was very close to being down for a loss in there if you would have gone down maybe 2 more inches with that knee.
Huskies approaching midfield here with 5:30 to go in the first half here at Sherman Field in Houghton. And they'll send a man in motion once again here to the near sideline. Brandon Cowie. And they'll give Williams again, trying to get the edge to just shy of midfield, but it'll be enough for a Husky first down as he gets to the 48-yard line of his own.
Good job by Northern Michigan to string that out. There was some room on the corner if Williams could have gotten there in time, but the Wildcats able to keep him from making that turn up the field. If they can keep him going east-west, I think that's where they want him. The Huskies have been very effective running that ball north-south so far, not so much to the outside. It's between the tackles where all their big runs have come.
Time of possession in this ball game very, very much in the favor of Michigan Tech.
Mostly because they have not really handed the ball over. You get a couple of 5- and 6-minute drives, it's easy to put those numbers way up.
Play action here for Cowie, looking long. He's got a man over here on the sideline, just off the fingertips, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Boy, that was slow developing on the outside there too, Mark. Andrew Clark coming down on the outside of the field was behind about 3 Northern Michigan defenders after when the ball was thrown. He might have been 7 yards deeper than them. The Northern defenders looked up for the ball. Clark just kept going and found his way behind there. Just the ball wasn't on point for that. Brandon Cowie last year with a couple more inches was able to make those kind of plays as a receiver. But you got to remember who's out there now, Brandon. You're not throwing to yourself on this play.
Clock stops on the incompletion on 2nd down and 10. Swing out to the far flat. And, well, once again, Michigan Tech with some good positive yardage. And Winky with the catch and into Wildcat territory. They go right at the 45-yard line. This is going to bring up 3rd down and about 4.
Good blocking by Walter and Fisher out there too, Mark. This play doesn't work if the wide receivers that are on the outside are not tying up their men. That's a good job out there to get an extra 3 or 4 yards because 3rd and 3 is a lot better than 3rd and 7.
So just inside Northern Michigan territory, here come the Huskies again, already leading 10-0 here at Sherman Field. Cowie moves ahead and buried for a loss of about 3 on the play. That looked like it was going to develop a little bit quicker than it did. The Wildcat defense, give them credit, they got there.
Dante Holmes got the first hand on him. Jared Vuxen from Gladstone able to make sure that Cowie was not going to go any further than that. Now, are the Huskies going to end up punting here for the first time in the game? And it looks like they will. From midfield, probably not where you want to take any chances right now with the game pretty well in your favor at 10-0.
So Ryan Van Gotham, number 85, will come in. He is a senior out of West Branch. And he'll punt it from right around his own 40-yard line. So the pass back is good. And he gets off a high spiraling kick that the Wildcats will fair catch it around the 24-yard line. And that's where Shea Brown and the green and gold will take over.
It's a good run up on that play to go get that ball because it could have hopped pretty much anywhere. But impressive play on the inside by Austin Young from Escanaba to come up a good 10, 12 yards on the fly and field that ball going down to the turf. Give his team pretty good field position, too, to start with. Northern Michigan has not been very far up the field when they've started these drives, Mark. A little more breathing room for the Cats now as they go back on offense.
Now, you've seen enough Northern Michigan now here, Dave. What needs to happen?
Right now, it's just make sure you keep executing. They did a good job that first drive of moving their way down and making sure that they could find those gaps. But they've gone away from the run a little bit. More passing now, and that's become a little tougher.
Well, Brown upfield, and the Wildcat wanting interference, but it looked more incidental than anything else. And Brown really standing back there for a long, long time. Threw it around a lot of black jerseys on defense.
That looked like Michigan Tech knew that one was coming, Mark. That's a lot of guys back there on a play that's supposed to be, at least at the best, you're talking double coverage. There were 4 Husky defenders near where that ball hit the ground. Not much of a chance for Austin to go in there and try to go grab that thing.
So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Spread offense again here for the Wildcats and Shea Brown. Clap of the hands, second clap, and they'll give. Inside, cutting back, and a first down for Northern Michigan. Much needed first down here for the Wildcats. And again, that's Aaron Harris once again here for Northern Michigan as he heads it up towards midfield.
Good to see for Chris Ostrowski, too. Watch at the end of this play. After a good play like that, get up with a little emotion. Show that you're in this game, because right when he gets up, you know what, we got that first down. Let's get our guys fired up here. Let's go and make sure we can be on top of the ball right now. Get your guys fired up because they're starting to move it.
And I stand corrected. That's Terrence Dye back into the ball game here for Northern Michigan with the run. So first down for the Wildcats. Shea Brown swings it here to the near side. Tucker gets pushed back. He's going to get a minimal gain and out of bounds. Where do they spot him, though? Right at about the 40-yard line, so a gain of about 4.
You can see why they want to get him in space. We've already seen what he can do with those feet, but when you get him out there on an island with those defenders, he can make that first guy miss almost every time. That's a great play to go pick up some more yardage, and you almost thought he was going to get loose there, too. One step on the sideline was the only thing that prevented that from being a big, long gainer.
2nd and 6, Northern Michigan down 10 here at Sherman Field as we head towards halftime on campus at Michigan Tech. Brown back, he's got a pocket around him, guns it across the middle. Big hit, but holding on to the football for the Wildcats is Austin Young. And the senior out of Escanaba, you talked about him a moment ago. That's a lick, and he held on for a short attempt. No, they're going to give him the first down now.
UP on UP crime there. That's a wide receiver from Escanaba getting hit by Brett Gervais, who's just up the road from Lake Linden. They would have never played against each other in high school. You're talking a Class A and a Class D school. But they're certainly up against each other tonight with Tech and Northern, and they are 2 players to watch the rest of this game.
2-minute drill now for Shea Brown and the Wildcats as we're under the 2-minute mark. And again, the Wildcats, a nifty little move by Dye, and boy, he's got himself a good gainer of about 8 yards.
Got good shifty moves on the inside. He wants more of the ball too, Mark. He's asking for more carries because he's looking like he's finding spots. Good downfield blocking again by Northern Michigan, and you're still seeing Husky tacklers missing that first guy every time. The defensive coaches are not going to be pleased with that for the Huskies.
Under a minute 30 to go. Wildcats do have all 3 timeouts, as do Michigan Tech. Already down to a minute 20 now, and Shea Brown with Dye with him in the backfield. Quick gunner here to Tucker along the near sidelines. Gently steps out of bounds. That'll stop the clock after a first down to the 39-yard line.
That's a veteran move. Get what you can. Stop the clock. The timeouts are more valuable than that extra yard. Marcus Tucker, we already talked about a little bit. Criminal justice. So, he knows about the efficiency and what you're supposed to do and how to be in the right situations out there.
So the Wildcats now back in Tech territory at the 40. And trying to get some momentum going in here to halftime. Michigan Tech won the toss, deferred. They'll get the football to start the second half of play as the Wildcats swing it to the far sideline. And Craig, the sophomore out of Muskegon, he'll gather it in after a gain of just a couple.
Good play to get out of bounds, though, Mark, because the Husky defenders looked like after he made that move, they were going to keep him in bounds. But Keontae Craig able to spin and make sure he got to the sideline to stop the clock.
Minute 6 to go here till halftime. Second out and long for Northern Michigan. And Brown looks like he may be changing things up here at the line of scrimmage for the Wildcats. Clap of the hand, gun to the near sideline. There's Tucker again, got a little bit of a block. That's all he needed. He got to the 25, still in bounds, down the sidelines, and a touchdown for Northern Michigan as we get just under a minute remaining here in the opening half.
Do a little conducting of the Tech band when he got in there, too. Looked like when the Huskies saw that play being changed on the outside, they sent somebody off in the middle, and that's where the gap came from. It was the Husky defender on the outside that would have been there to help out, but a great step by Tucker. Missed that play by Gervais, not able to get onto the feet. No problem for Tucker. You give him that kind of move and that kind of room, he's gone.
So Ryan LaBerge on to try and tack on the extra point. The pass back is good. It splits the uprights. And just like that, Dave, looks like when the neighbors get together, we get to have some fun.
Boy, you'd think if you're looking at this half, Michigan Tech's got to feel pretty aggrieved right now, Mark. They had everything going exactly their way, controlling the ball, making sure they were in command of the whole game, and then one drive changes the whole thing. 10-7 at the half, I don't think is real indicative of how the play has gone so far. Does that matter to Chris Ostrowski? I don't think so. I think he's pretty happy right now that not only has he got the points, he got the momentum then going into the halftime break. So the guys in the green and gold, they got to be pretty happy coming back onto the field here.
As a matter of fact, we're going to hear from Coach O as we come back from halftime. And we'll talk to Coach Curley here coming off the field here for the Michigan Tech Huskies. But remember here too, Dave, there's 57 seconds to go. You get a good return for Michigan Tech. They too are playing with all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, they've not really shown that quick strike ability tonight. They've been more methodical with it, but we'll see if they can change their spots a little bit. And you're right, a good return would set them up in the right spot. We've seen Cowie's got the arm to send that down the field. Is Northern Michigan going to be ready for that, or maybe the Huskies are just content to go into the locker room with the lead?
Henderson and another Marquette product, Eric Kostriva, back deep for Michigan Tech. As a booming kick here by Northern Michigan is going to hit into the end zone and be a touchback, and that'll put the football in a reasonable spot here for Michigan Tech. We'll see what the Huskies have here with 57 seconds left.
Well, the benefit to that one is no time comes off the clock. If you don't go back there, grab the ball, and then down it, you still lose a second or two. So this way you've kept the full 57 with what you've got. And now you've got 80 yards to go down the field to punch it in for 6, or maybe a little shorter if you want to get that field goal attempt.
So that'll put the football right at the 25-yard line. Huskies choose the far hash mark on this one. And when you think about it, 57 seconds with your 3 timeouts, Dave, we might be here a while as we head towards the half.
First time we've seen 3 wide for Michigan Tech tonight, so they are in that 2-minute offense.
Brandon Cowie with a man in motion. He will start it up out of the shotgun. And they'll give to the left side, and well, not a whole lot there at first, falling forward for a gain of about 6 on that. Williams on the carry.
I think we have our answer. Huskies are pretty happy with how this half has gone, and they're going to run out the clock in the last couple of seconds here, so that'll give Coach Curley a chance to compose himself and start to think about what he wants to talk about at halftime.
So the Huskies with that 3-point lead heading towards halftime here at Sherman Field. And Brandon Cowie will look things over, and they'll give Williams once again. And here, more than anything else, Dave, you get the first down, you got to hold on to the football. Turnover right here for Michigan Tech would be disastrous.
Well, first down makes sure that Northern Michigan can't start calling timeouts to force the action here, but it is only the end of the first half.
And we may be there already. They put the game clock in motion and we're under 10, and no one in any hurry really to do much of anything. So both teams kind of staring at each other, and the Huskies will turn to their left and slowly start to mosey off the field. And with that, let's head down to the sidelines and get the thoughts of the Michigan Tech sideline. Rebecca?
Coach, thoughts in the first half?
Well, it's a ebb and flow, if you would, roller coaster. We had some breaks early. They came back and got a nice play and got one in the end zone. We knew it's going to be that way. It's going to be 60 minutes. We know that.
Any adjustments you're going to make in this halftime?
Well, we've got to tackle a little better in the secondary. I think that was huge.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Rebecca, thanks very much. Yeah, Tom Curley's seen a lot in his 10 seasons here in Houghton, and no panic, no nothing. It's just like we said earlier, it's another Saturday when the neighbors get together. This time it's in the evening time, and as a matter of fact, we're going to talk about that possibly being an advantage on one side of the football as compared to the other. That and the rest of halftime coming up here in just a moment. It is 10-7 Tech. Back with more in a moment on TV6.
Huskies fans, there are 2 lucky contestants randomly selected from the crowd who are about to compete for a Rose Center for the Performing Arts ticket prize pack. Backed by popular demand is this year's edition of the Giant Tricycle Race, sponsored by the Rose Center for the Performing Arts, presenting Aquila Theater's Romeo and Juliet, one of Shakespeare's most beloved plays about star-crossed lovers, will come to Michigan Tech's Rose Center at 8 p.m. Thursday, October 22nd. Tickets at Central Ticketing in the SDC or at rose.mtu.edu. The object is simple. 2 full-grown adults race down the field on giant tricycles as fast as they can. The first one to cross the goal line wins a fantastic Huskies prize pack and the distinction of winning an adult tricycle race in front of thousands of other humans. Tonight we have Isaac. and Nico. Are the contestants ready? All right, count it down with me, fans. 3, 2, 1, go! What a race! Let's hear it for our contestants tonight, Isaac and Nico.
Well, back at Sherman Field here in Houghton, always fun, like we said, when the neighbors get together. 10-7 Michigan Tech as we welcome you inside our broadcast location here in Houghton this evening. We're looking at the numbers a little bit here, Dave, and time of possession, we brought that up earlier. Not as out of whack as we thought here. It is about 17-12 for Michigan Tech, 12-48 for Northern Michigan. Both teams, I'm sure, pretty happy with that number right now.
Well, that's still a lot. It's really what you can do with that possession, too, Mark. An 8-play drive that only took 2 minutes and 22 seconds for Northern Michigan. They'll take that all day. They can let Michigan Tech have a 7-minute drive and get one score. If you can score 3 times in that same amount of time, the quick strike can definitely get you back into the game. And right now, I'd be feeling pretty good if I was in the Northern Michigan locker room. Chris Ostrowski's got to be pretty happy with the way that half ended.
182 total yards of offense for Michigan Tech, 151 for the Wildcats. We saw a lot of that earlier. There was a couple of drives in there where the Wildcats struggled. Credit Michigan Tech's defense, but when they needed it at the end of that first half, Northern Michigan rose to the occasion.
Got to go to your playmakers in that one. Northern Michigan's defense on the inside, able to hold Michigan Tech to a field goal. That's a huge drive in this game right now, because if they go up 14-0, the Huskies put a stranglehold onto the game. So that's a big deal right now that Northern was able to hold that to just 10, and now they're within a field goal after they scored.
And one other information bit on this piece of paper that jumps out at me, 1 penalty, period, in the first half of play.
That's big. And Northern Michigan, a team that's been really cursed with turnovers a lot so far, with 6 fumbles so far. Good ball security. That's why this game is close.
You get a look out here at midfield here, and all the black and gold and the noise and fun and talent that is the Michigan Tech Pep Band as they about set to entertain folks here at halftime at Michigan Tech.
Wednesday's info session will be held at 0600 hours behind DHH. The NSA will be looking for the next great military mind to protect the nation's defense secrets. They can't confirm or deny that they are actively recruiting military personnel, but I read on WikiLeaks that our international conflicts are escalating rapidly. Perhaps the intelligence agencies are forming a 7-nation army. video or site. Here, they can prove out on discussing the importance of by Erica. In addition to sending drones over enemy lines, the NSA works with data from many defense areas. They will be recruiting
Rebecca Himmelstein here. We are in the halftime between the Michigan Tech Huskies and Northern Michigan University. Tech is up 10-7 right now, and joining me are the two radio announcers for both these teams. We have Ryan Beckman from Northern Michigan and Josh Ilatello from Michigan Tech. I'm really happy I didn't mess those up. And so, first of all, what are you thinking about how these Wildcats are doing tonight?
Yeah, I think they're playing well. That touchdown right before halftime from Marcus Tucker has been huge. Get a little momentum back, and even the defense there made a nice stand on their last time out there. So hope to see more of the same there in the second half.
And how about Michigan Tech?
Well, so far I think the offense has looked well. They've been running the football very effectively today. They haven't run it very well so far at the early parts of the season, but so far so good. As you mentioned, Tucker with that big catch there. Looks like the defense has to get those short routes clogged up a little bit more and get to the football a little faster.
All right, and question for both of you guys. This is a huge rivalry, obviously. What makes it such a great rivalry?
You know, I think part of it is the proximity, how close it is, and you know, that adds to a lot of it. But also, how many people, you know, go to Marquette, how many people go to Houghton, and just the short distance there is just phenomenal. Builds to the rivalry, and you know, kind of get some bad blood on both sides.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have a lot of UP kids who've played against each other a lot. You know, a lot of these people have played against each other in high school, so you see a lot of that. And then just the fact that they always play each other tough. It's always close games every year. So when you're right there next to each other every single year, it's going to draw some bad blood. And no matter who you are, but you put that geographical proximity compared to everybody else in the conference, and that's what you're going to come up with.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. I'm Rebecca Himmelstein once again, and we'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Rebecca, thanks very much. You know, and both those guys bring up a really interesting point. A lot of these guys play high school against one another. They wind up playing with one another to a certain degree as Michigan Tech or Northern Michigan teammates. But to think about this, you could potentially be playing against a guy for 8 consecutive years in one way, shape, or form. It just makes a rivalry like this very, very special.
That's true. It's one of the things we talked about. There are 34 players on these rosters who are UP kids. 21 in Michigan Tech, 13 for Northern Michigan. You know it means the world to them in this rivalry.
10-7, our halftime continues in a moment. It's Michigan Tech and Northern Michigan tonight on TV6.
This theatrical experiment will include Shakespearean dialogue, humor as dark as midnight, fantastic light strokes, marionettes.
You might have been. Oh, that's why we. Yeah. I had forgot to mute her at the end too. All right, so are we doing replays then? How's that look here with the light? Psst. How's that look now?
So kids, remember to keep your chin up, dress sharp, and smile for the camera. Because the NSA will be watching you wherever you are. And your next freeze-frame moment can be the start of a fantastic new career.
Well, our halftime festivities continue here on campus at Michigan Tech. 10-7, the host Huskies leading Northern Michigan. And a very, very interesting first half. As you said, numerically, when you look at it, you'd think some dominance here by Michigan Tech, not necessarily a three-point ball game where we stand right now.
Lots of points where this thing really could have been turned around. So Northern Michigan opening with a good first drive and running the ball to start with out of the spread. And that, I think, confused the Huskies a little bit, Mark. But they were able to kind of work the perimeter, get the ball into the hands of the people in space, and they're making that first Tech tackler miss. The Huskies were not very good getting the first guy down, but as soon as they got the ball back, Michigan Tech had a lot of control in this game. Brandon Cowie with some good footwork on that first drive. That one a third down play to keep the chains moving down the field, and then handing it back off. The two tailbacks, Miller and Williams, did a very good job hitting the seams in the first half, alternating on drives, and then Cowie with a chance with a guy on his back, getting that ball to Alex Sherman, the Marquette native, in the end zone for the Husky touchdown, capping off a drive that took almost 7 minutes off the clock. Then, when the Huskies got it back again, starting to move the ball through the air a little bit, hitting some players through the middle and able to move the sticks, but still keeping that clock burning. Cowie able to step into those throws. Walter with a good reception on the outside. This time, as the clock changed into the second quarter, the drive kind of ground to a halt, even though the Huskies able to pick off some big yardage through the middle. Wildcat defense stiffened down by the goal line and did not allow the Huskies to cross in for 6 points. That field goal right now, we talked about an important point in this game, because if the Huskies go up by 2 touchdowns, Northern Michigan will have a much tougher time getting back into this game. But now the Cats had something to build on, and they started to move the ball through the middle. They got the ball in the hands of their playmaker. Marcus Tucker had a big half out there. 3 kick returns for 59 yards, but then not able to end up in anything in that drive. You thought, well, is Northern Michigan not going to be able to move the ball the rest of the way, because the Husky defense was not giving Brown a chance to get time to throw the ball. When he did get it, he was effective. And then by the end of the half, the Cats defensive line able to figure out Cowie. Gave their team a chance at the end of the half with 3 minutes on the clock to go down the field and do something to get some points at the end of the half. We talked about getting some excitement into the game. Brown, good job to work the sidelines. He went to one side, then went back to the playmaker on the other side of the field. Marcus Tucker had a big half. 4 catches, 64 yards. This one for 38 for a score. That closed out the half at a 10-7 Michigan Tech advantage. But Northern Michigan right in this ball game, Mark. It's the kind of game right now where one play can really turn things around. We're looking at 30 minutes where anyone could be that play.
And that second half is yours in just a couple of moments. It's Michigan Tech, Northern Michigan tonight right here on TV6.
Okay. I'm glad my memory's good and I can remember half this stuff that we're seeing. The old Tom Hanks, Mr.
Receiving Marcus Tucker, 4 catches, 64 yards, 1 touchdown. Austin Young and Keandre Craig, each with 2 catches. Punting, Robert Solani, 2 punts for 73 yards, his longest 43, average 36.5 yards. Defensively, L.J. Liston with 7 total tackles, Hornback with 6, Holmes with 5, and Walker with 4. For the Huskies, Kevin Miller, 10 rushes for 50 yards, John Williams, 8 for 40, Brandon Cowie, 6 for 28. Receiving, Ian Winkie, 3 catches for 19 yards, Andrew Clark, David Walter, and John Williams, 1 reception each. Punting, Ryan Van Gotham, 1 punt for 24 yards. Defensively, Tanner Agan leading with 5 tackles, Brett Gervais with 4, Brandon Hutchison and Paul Quapala with 3 apiece. Scoring in the first quarter, Alex Sherbanow, a 2-yard pass reception from Brandon Cowie. Josh King, a 24-yard field goal. For Northern Michigan, Marcus Tucker, a 38-yard touchdown pass from Shea Brown. As we get ready to start half number 2, the score, Michigan Tech 10, Northern Michigan 7.
Dave Ellis, what are you expecting here in the second half?
I want to see who gets the ball right away. When Michigan Tech has got it, are they going to push the tempo and move it down the field, or is Northern Michigan able to get the stop? That first drive is going to tell us about a lot of what's going to happen in the last 30 minutes, Mark.
Coaching staffs are getting back in position. We'll hear from Northern Michigan's bench in just a little bit. It's a party atmosphere in Sherman Field, and we're back with more in a moment on TV6.
Your attention, please. There is a red van that must be moved immediately. The license plate is 8955G4. The red van must be moved immediately. License plate 8955G4. Move it immediately or it will be towed.
With the coach, right?
Three of them.
You can't hear them at all, so we could. Okay, I was gonna be like, do we just look stupid then right now?
Yep. 30 seconds, Rebecca.
30 seconds, I said.
Here we go.
It is 10-7 Tech. Here are a couple of New Jersey natives on the Northern Michigan sideline.
Yes, we were just bonding about the fact that we are both from New Jersey, but Coach, thoughts on the first half so far?
I think it's a good football game. I think there's a lot that we had to fix, and I think we did it, and we're excited to finish.
What did that one touchdown do for your momentum going into the second?
I thought it was just a little bit of a chess match. We started off with a great drive to start the game, then we kind of ran into it a little bit, and then kind of figured it out a little bit, and our kids executed, and it was a great touchdown at the end, and it's critical for momentum heading into the second half.
What adjustments are you going to make, if any?
We're going to try to play as hard as we can. We're going to do the best we can, hang and execute a plan and win this game.
All right, good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Okay, all right.
We'll send it back up to you guys.
Great, Rebecca. Thanks, Coach, as well. A beautiful night here for football. A gorgeous full moon hanging over Sherman Field. And we've got another good one here, Dave. 10-7 Michigan Tech. The Huskies will get the kickoff to start the third quarter.
Yeah, they won the toss and deferred, so obviously when you do that, you're expecting to get the ball to start with. So can the Huskies go out, put together a long drive, and reestablish their dominance in this game, Mark? It's like Coach O just said, it's a chess match. These two teams are they're not really feeling each other out. They're whacking each other around out there. And right now, standing toe-to-toe, we haven't seen much of that Northern Michigan kickoff unit, so this will be interesting too. Will the Cats bomb it through the end zone with their kicker, who's a Houghton native, knows this field very well, or do they want to force a return here and put the ball into play?
Well, no matter what direction you're kicking, there is not a whisper of wind here tonight, so that's not going to be a factor in this one. Back deep, E.J. Krostriva, again, a member of that exciting Ishpeming State Championship football team under Jeff Olson a couple of years ago. James Henderson will join him deep for the Michigan Tech Huskies in black, Wildcats of Northern in white, and we are about ready to start third quarter here at Sherman Field in Houghton. Tech 3-0 on the season. Northern Michigan lost their opener. They're on a 2-game winning streak of their own, and we are underway here in the second half of play. Kickoff goes to the far corner, and that's exactly where it'll trickle through the end zone past James Henderson, and Michigan Tech will start again at the 25-yard line.
That's almost exactly the same place that Ryan LaBerge hit that kickoff at the end of the second quarter, too, Mark. He's getting points for accuracy. If he was a bullseye guy, one of those archery shooters, I think Ryan LaBerge would be one of the guys you'd want on your team in your fantasy archery league.
We'll see if we can get him into punting court, maybe pick a coffin corner or two, because you don't see a lot of that in college football anymore. So the Huskies will take over. Brandon Cowie, again, all set and ready to go. They've got the play from the sideline, so they are set and ready here. And that'll be Miller in the backfield once again to join him here on 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. And Cowie rolls to his right, looking. Not much there. Dumps it across the middle. It's a gain of about 6. Patience right there by Brandon Cowie, and that pays off for a good positive gain.
Good coverage out there, too, again, by guess who? One more time, Levi Perry in on the tackle. The guy's everywhere. There must be 2 or 3 8s out there, and I'm just not seeing them all, but he's been a blur on the field for Northern Michigan. Really a great performance so far for him.
This is about as full as we've seen the backfield here for Michigan Tech in the football game. 2nd down and 4 from the 31-yard line of their own. Cowie, delay on the handoff, and they give straight through. There is Miller, and it'll be near a first down, but still 3rd and short here for Michigan Tech.
Kind of stutter step through the middle. Remember in the first half when the Huskies were effective, hitting those holes and just trusting it was going to be there. That time, maybe a little question mark from Miller. Was the hole going to be there or was it not? That kind of took him out of his rhythm and kept him from getting the first down, and now the Huskies are 3rd and short.
And this is where Brandon Cowie can be very dangerous with his ability to run the football as well. And that's exactly what he does. Option, left side, late pitch, sniffed out by Northern Michigan. It's a loss of a half a yard on the play. And the Wildcats, Brandon August getting there. And it is 4th down and a decision here. Probably not much of a decision for Tom Curley. I think they have really no choice at this point of the field to kick it away.
Well diagnosed by the Northern Michigan defense. They had not 1, not 2, but 3 players out there. Forced the pitch on that play, did not allow Cowie to turn it up to the inside. And then on assignment football, somebody stays with the quarterback, somebody goes with the runner. Northern played it perfectly, and they forced the punt.
Big series defensively here for the Wildcats as Van Gotham is back. It's kind of a wobbly snap, and he did not get off a very good kick. This is going to take a bit of a Husky roll and now a better bounce down to about the 20-yard line. And that's where the Wildcats will take over. So a bit of a break there on the punt. The snap back wasn't very good and not the best kick we've seen from Van Gotham, but it pays off a bit for the Huskies, and Wildcats pin back a bit in their own territory.
Well, now we see what kind of confidence Shea Brown has, too, on the offense. Here's that option play once again. Watch all the Northern Michigan defenders making sure you play the assignment first. Don't let the quarterback into the seam. As soon as he pitches it, now you can all go to the ball. Very well played by the Wildcat defenders.
Well, the last time the Wildcats had the football, they scored to make it 10-7 where we stand right now. And Shea Brown, slap of the hand, now a double. And they will give inside handoff. That hole closed very, very quickly on the runner, Jake Mayon, there for Northern Michigan.
A lot of the runs that Northern Michigan had in the first half, Mark, were near the tackles or almost outside. They're trying to push the ball through the middle right now as that field spreads out. Are those gaps going to be in there when the Tech linebackers have to start moving out to the perimeter? 4 wide. Once again, we'll see if the Husky spread is going to be tested.
2nd down and 8. Brown, quick swing pass out to Dye in the flat. He's out of bounds, but not until after gaining a Northern Michigan first down.
It's really hard for the defenders out there to put a foot in the ground and attack. They have to be able to find a way out there to not let that first move get the Wildcat offensive players the ball and then be able to turn upfield. The key is to make sure that you've got them as soon as they've got the ball into their hands. Don't let them make that second move. That play, Northern Michigan able to get to the corner and get the first down.
So the Wildcats now moving the football out to their own 31-yard line. A fresh set of downs here for the green and gold. And Brown with that quick offense to the line of scrimmage and across. Not much there for Harris this time. He'll gain maybe a yard, bringing up second down and 8 or 9.
Brown looked like he was waiting for the snap there for a second, almost leaned forward, and that can be called as a false start if you're moving forward at the snap of the ball. But Northern Michigan able to escape that one on that sideline over there for the Wildcats is starting to look pretty confident. Those are guys that don't think that there's anything wrong right now. They think they're right in this ball game, and they certainly are.
Well, I remember last year Michigan Tech a heavy favorite, Northern Michigan taking them right down to the wire before that Garrett Meade field goal from 39 yards out, made it the 34-31 final as that pass is dropped out in the flat. And you don't see that very often from the Northern Michigan offense.
No, especially Keandre Craig has been a very sure-handed receiver so far. He was kind of peeking upfield to see if there was going to be somebody in the way if he turned that back. It's one of those times you get caught in between. Do I turn it to the sideline? Do I cut it back in the middle of the field? And while you're doing that, the most important part is catching the ball, and he didn't do that first.
So third and long here, 3rd and 9, as the Michigan Tech crowd and sideline come to life here in the Copper Country. And Shea Brown calling out the signals on a key 3rd down play. Looks, here comes pressure, launching it. He's got a man open. It is caught. And he'll be brought down at about the 5-yard line. And you just talked about him just a little bit ago. And there he is once again, Keandre Craig. And what a catch and what a play by Northern Michigan.
Had 2 players flying down the field. We saw at the end of the half the Husky pass rush able to get at Brown. This time he's clear and lots of room out there. If Craig didn't have to turn around for that ball, he's gone. That would have been a touchdown to start with. The Huskies able to pull him down at about the 4 and give themselves a chance at a goal line stand.
1st and goal, Northern Michigan. Chance to take the lead here for the first time tonight, trailing 10-7 here at Sherman Field. Brown, after the big play, calls it out. They give. Harris looks. He is popped right there at the 2-yard line. Picked up, planted, driven back. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
Good step to the ball on that one by the Husky defenders, Mark. That was a very big hit on the inside by Ben Talkin as he filled the hole. No gain on that play. Northern Michigan maybe not advised to go through the middle right now. They're finding space and they're finding their playmakers on the perimeter. If they've got the time, getting the ball outside the numbers is right now where they're making all their money.
Big plays here for Northern Michigan. 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Man in motion here for Shea Brown as he actually gets the play off from under center. And he'll roll. Look, back of the end zone, got a man open, and touchdown Northern Michigan. There's Keandre Craig again, and what a drive he had.
What a conventional look coming out there for Northern Michigan. Tight on the inside, but then Craig was lined up right on the end, snuck around the back line of the end zone and had all kinds of room. Watch him come off the backside as Northern makes that action toward the left. They throw it back to the right. 2 receivers in the area. Craig, no problem. The 2 wideouts right now, Craig and Tucker, have the touchdowns. You can see where the danger is for Northern Michigan. Chris Ostrowski doing a good job using his playmakers.
LaBerge makes it 14-10, and we'll take a break. The Wildcat kick is yours next here on TV6.
Fans, the Ojibwa Resort and Casino is a proud sponsor of Michigan Tech Athletics.
Well, the Miners Cup on the line here again tonight between Northern Michigan and Michigan Tech. Impressive drive there by the Wildcats, Dave.
Yeah, 79 yards after they stopped the Huskies on their first possession, ending with that 4-yard touchdown. One of the big pushes all year this year, Mark, for Northern Michigan is the word finish. They have that plastered all over the place, on the playbooks, on the shirts, inside the Superior Dome. For all I know, it's on the mirrors in the bathroom, too. They want to make sure that they finish these games. You look at that sideline over there right now, they're happy, but they're not satisfied yet. Michigan Tech is still in this game. Northern Michigan knows it's a 60-minute ball game, and it can come right down to the last play like it did last year.
Tyler Blackburn has it on the tee here for the Wildcats. He will approach and swing with the right leg. This one's a line drive. That'll be Henderson at his own goal line. And he's got blockers in front to the 23, and that's where Michigan Tech will take over, and a good return here for the Huskies.
Good special teams tackle by Terrell Johnson coming in there on the cut. You know, those guys that never get any credit on the special teams, going down there, putting your career on the line half the time as you're bombing down the field. That's a great play by Johnson to go out there. Now Tom Curley, has he got the know-how right now to get his team back out there, settle this thing down? I'm sure he'd love one of those 7-minute drives that ends in 7 points again.
I'm certainly, there's no need for panic at all. I mean, we've got an eternity left in this ball game. Not necessarily gut check time for Michigan Tech, but you certainly want to see good things happen if you're the Huskies. Here's Cowie under trouble and under duress again. He'll go down for no gain. This is an entirely different Northern Michigan defense from what we saw in that first half.
They're very aggressive right now, and one of the things that Coach Curley always talks about, too, is that they've always got 3 or 4 what he calls special plays that are sitting down there in the bottom of the playbook. As you start to see a team get really confident, really aggressive, those gadget plays can really gash you if you use them at the right time. Let's see if Northern Michigan stays disciplined.
John Williams in the backfield along with Cowie, and they'll roll the pocket. Cowie looking, he's going to fling it here to the near sideline. It is caught and stepping out of bounds at the 30-yard line is Andrew Clark from Michigan Tech. Again, the senior out of Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin. Good gain for the Huskies here. That's going to bring up third down, and very manageable at third down at about 3.
That was very composed by Cowie, too. Saw that there was going to be no way to run that ball. Just get it to the outside, take what you can get. That's a safety valve receiver, more of a check down, probably your second or third option on that play. But take what you can, get third and short, and let's see what we can do on the next play.
Wildcats, last time we saw third and short at this part of the field, able to batten things down as they'll send the man in the backfield in motion, and Cowie drops straight back. And now he's going to step up into the pocket, and the Wildcat defense holds again. No gain on the play. It'll be stopped at the 30-yard line.
They love it on the other end of the field as the Northern Michigan fans on the far side are happy with that. Good play by the pass rushers. They did not overcommit to the outside, stayed in their lanes, did not give a lot of room for Cowie to get through the middle, and then able to release their blockers in time to knock the quarterback down before he got to the marker. Watch on the inside, Mark. These guys aren't going so far out where they get themselves out of position. That's an outstanding play on the inside by number 53 for the Northern Michigan defenders. It's a great job by Joseph Iwaniki to go in there and do that.
Van Gotham gets off a good one here to about the 30-yard line. Wildcats will take it from there, and up to around the 25-yard line goes Northern Michigan, and that is where the Cats will take over here, scored on their last drive to take that 14-10 lead.
You know, I said Joe Iwaniki, but he plays for Michigan Tech, still wears number 53. It's another UP guy that made that last play, Jared Vuxen, a big on inside from Gladstone High School. That's a very defensive gem of a play so far for Northern Michigan. They're having fun over there on the Wildcats sidelines, making those plays right now, and it's the UP kids that are making them too.
No delay here from Coach O and the Northern Michigan offense either, as he has his team ready to go, and Shea Brown will clap the hands, get the snap, and they'll give inside. Sneaking through the pile and out to around the 33-yard line. That looked like it was going to go nowhere for Terrence Dye, and he kind of ducked underneath a would-be tackler and got positive yardage.
Missed tackles again. We've brought it up how many times. You've got a guy in the backfield. That's got to be a play on the inside. That has to be a tackle in there by the Michigan Tech defenders. We saw that great end of the half on the inside by the Michigan Tech defender, number 99, Brandon Hutchinson, who had that great last drive. That time just kind of got caught on the wrong side of the ball, had to reach a little across his body, and couldn't bring that Wildcat offensive player down for a tackle for loss.
Rare opportunity for Shea Brown to actually take the snap from under center. And he will hold on to it, and look, now here comes the pressure. Hit as he throws, it's a wobbling pass that's going to be intercepted by the Huskies at their own 40-yard line. As soon as that ball left Shea Brown's hand, Dave, you knew that was trouble.
Could not find a way to get that foot to step in, and a great job by the Husky pass rush to get a hand on that ball. And Spencer Moran is the guy who makes the big play down the field, almost like a punt at that point. You saw the Wildcat receivers coming back to try to get it. Watch, he can't step into the play, and then getting that hand in there behind. When Brown made that move, no way for the Wildcats to come back to the ball at that point. When your guys are getting behind the defense, that's good if the ball can get there. If the ball doesn't get there, lots of room for the Husky defenders to make that play. That is the first turnover, and that's one of the things we talked about. Northern Michigan had to play clean. They could not turn the ball over if they wanted to stay in the game.
And now let's see if the Huskies can ride some of that momentum as the inside handoff and a quick hitter there for Williams. Not much, a gain of about 3, but that being said, Michigan Tech sticking to the game plan here. Not anything too crazy. You don't want to take advantage of this emotionally too much. You stick with what you do. You stick with what's been going for you. It's real tempting sometimes as a coach to go for that big bomb after the turnover. Not doing it, not now.
No, schools of thought, that's different. Tom Curley is not a guy who likes to go out there and make the double momentum switch at that point. Let's calm things down and see what we can do on offense.
Swing pass out to the far side, possibly a double pass, but now they'll have to haul it in, and it's fumbled out of bounds. It'll be a gain of a couple of yards here for Michigan Tech, but it'll bring up 3rd down and around 5, and that was sniffed out well by the Wildcats.
We were right next to the Northern Michigan coaching booth, and they immediately said double pass, and you could see there's a look there down the field, but immediately, if you don't see the first guy open, on a double pass, you're not looking for a 2nd and 3rd option. There's one option down the field. If you see it, throw it. If not, tuck it. And that's what happened on that play for the Huskies. Pretty well defended by the Wildcats.
Nice job by Wenke to hold on to that football. It's tempting to get that. I'm going to throw, and he didn't do it. But it does bring up 3rd down and fairly long here for the Huskies at about midfield. Cowie straight back, looking for the first down. Buried short of the first down by about 3.
Cowie, the ball carrier.
And again, an interesting position now for Michigan Tech. Ball's at midfield. You're struggling to move the football a little bit right now. You flip the coin, what do you do?
Well, if Julian Hornback's on the field, I would say let's punt this ball and get it away. Had a big half for the Wildcats in the first with 5 tackles, and that one stepping in was just as big as any he made in the first half. We'll keep an eye on this one right now. Tom Curley is not above maybe making some kind of gadget play on a punt, but this one, as it skips over, will be kicked away.
Boy, Van Gotham just got off a bomb, and Young's going to let it hit and trickle into the end zone. And it'll be a first down for Northern Michigan back out to the 25.
Well, one of the things that the coaches talked about before this game, Mark, it's a pretty rare occurrence to have a night game here at Sherman Field, just the 4th one in history to start at 7 o'clock. One of the reasons is Tom Curley doesn't want to do that to the visiting teams that then have to travel 8-9 hours back on a bus as they head back downstate. But Northern Michigan's a little different. That's only maybe an hour and a half to go back. And Coach Ostrowski was talking about, and Tom Curley kind of agreed with him, it's almost an advantage for Northern Michigan to play at 7 o'clock because these guys have been playing 4 o'clock home games.
Yep.
You add in the travel time, they're on a regular Saturday schedule right now. We're a noon or 1 o'clock kickoff. They're up awfully early to start this, and your clock is kind of screwed up. So Northern Michigan really in the groove right now.
Shea Brown with a fresh set of downs for Northern Michigan. Inside handoff and bouncing off the pile quite nicely for the Wildcats. Harris once again, and again, good yardage here for the Wildcats on first down. Brings up 2nd down and 6.
They're finding some more room now on the inside, and the Wildcat runners are starting to do what the Tech runners did in the first half. Find your hole, pick it, and trust it. Don't go in there and try to dance around looking for them. They do have some fleet-footed guys back there, but better off to just go in and trust the hole. Quick huddle now as Northern Michigan comes right back up to the line.
So Shea Brown will survey the landscape, swing a pass out to the far sideline that goes right through the fingertips. Marcus Tucker, you don't see that very often. No, again, stand corrected. That is Keandre Craig right through his fingertips. And again, either way, you don't see that very often.
Feast or famine.
Yep.
Craig has dropped a couple on the sideline, but he also caught the bomb and the touchdown on the last drive. So now 3rd and 5 as the Husky defense really needs a stop right here. Northern Michigan with the first down would start to take some of the air out of the balloon on the black sideline.
Last time we saw this position, Wildcats threw the interception at midfield. Unfortunately for Michigan Tech, Huskies couldn't do anything with it. 3rd down and officially 5 from the 25. And Shea Brown rolls to the left. Looks. Little dump over the middle. That'll be an incompletion. And a very awkward, odd-looking play there that time by the Wildcats. May have been a busted play, but either way you dice it up here, the Wildcats are going to have to punt this one away as Robert Solani will come back in.
That's almost like a bailout. When you're moving that way as a right-handed quarterback, rolling to your left, it's pretty hard to cock your arm and throw it back into the sideline to get rid of it. These guys don't mind if Northern Michigan's going to punt down there, but it's an interesting one when you flip the ball through the middle, but Brown a good job to make sure he wasn't putting it someplace where a tech defender could get the ball.
Solani almost had it blocked, and the Huskies walked into the kicker, didn't really knock him down, and it'll be Tech football when we come back. They'll take it to the 22-yard line. TV6's live coverage of Northern and Tech continues in a moment.
Fans, for the most up-to-date information on Michigan Tech athletics, visit the Huskies on the World Wide Web at michigantechhuskies.com. Out of town for a Huskies home event, go to huskieslive.mtu.edu for all your high-definition streaming of Huskies home events. Fans are reminded to attend the fifth quarter reception.
They get a nice look in here at Sherman Field in Houghton. The Husky faithful having a good time here tonight until they turn around, some of them, and look at that scoreboard and see Northern Michigan leading 14-10. Back and forth, these two teams, Dave, trading punches here in this third quarter.
That hill is a great place to watch a football game too, Mark. Not a great place when you're walking down with the rivalry trophy face first, but it's a great place to watch a football game.
A awkward-looking play for Michigan Tech. Cowie looked a little bit out of position on that play, got the handoff forward for a gain of about 3.
No, that's a planned play. That's one of those delayed draws when you're trying to draw the defense in and kind of wrap around handoff on that one. Cowie's got those big, long arms to be able to put it back into the breadbasket of the running back, and you're hoping to catch those defensive linemen going too far and out of their lanes. Did not happen for Northern. Very disciplined on that one to hold it to 4.
Second down and 6. Ball sits at the 26-yard line of Michigan Tech. Huskies will send a man in motion. A little waggle across the line of scrimmage. Cowie give in the backfield again for Williams. Not much. He is going to be shy by about 3. And he'll bring up a quick third down for Michigan Tech. We've been here quite a few times already in this third quarter.
Yeah, third and short seems to be a very common down and distance for what we've seen, definitely, and almost in the same spot on the field, too. Right before Michigan Tech can get out of their own end and get up to midfield, seems like they've been facing this a lot. So how many times can you go to the playbook and find something different right now? Do you have to go back to something else you've tried before, or have you exhausted the 4 or 5 things you can do in this situation?
Williams joins Cowie in the backfield here on 3rd and 2 from the Tech 30-yard line. Huskies led at one point 10-0 as the inside handoff is through and Williams gets upended as he comes across. Make that Miller the ball carrier here for Michigan Tech, but there's your answer right there. Just get that quick hitter. He had a burst of speed and just enough of a seam to get through before getting upended, crossing the 35-yard line.
That's a big, tough tackle there by Brandon August to knock him down, too. That certainly didn't tickle when you hit the ground if you're Kevin Miller, but it always feels better when you come up with a first down.
And that is much needed here for Michigan Tech as they'd struggled moving the football here in this third quarter.
Well, first downs can help you out there.
Here's the end around and a bit of a reverse by Michigan Tech. A lot of traffic, and that's going to gain maybe a yard. Michigan Tech sideline shouting for a face mask. Flags will stay in the pockets. Virtually no gain on what covered a lot of territory.
Perry able to sniff this one out. Watch him come to the outside after the ball had to come back on the end. Yeah, that was pretty close, but
he got the side of the helmet actually.
That counts as a face mask though. If you're grabbing the ear holes or anywhere on the helmet, it's still a face mask. So must have just been on the edge of the jersey. In the black jerseys, it's really hard to tell.
Second and long, Michigan Tech. Cowie calls it out. Shotgun as he rolls right. Guns it out to the flat, and it's picked off by Northern Michigan. And down the sidelines go the Wildcats. Can Cowie get there? No. touchdown on the pick, and the Wildcats lead it 20-10.
One of those things that you never want to see a wide receiver do. If you reach back for the ball and it's not in a place where you can catch it, don't bat it up in the air, and that's exactly what Andrew Clark did. Had to spin the wrong way for the ball, put a hand up, and then left it right on a platter for Brandon Auguste. Nothing in front of him but green grass and yard stripes all the way to the end zone, and the nice little dive to close it out. Northern Michigan now with a chance to take an 11-point lead in a game mark that they trailed 10-0.
LaBerge will try and tack it on. Pass back is good, and it is punched through the uprights. No, he missed it to the right side, and it stays 20-10.
Well, that actually happened once already this year here at Sherman Field, Mark. A 28-27 win for Michigan Tech, and their second game of the year against Malone was decided by a missed extra point by Malone. So how big is that going to be at this point now? That's one of those things that's also a momentum killer, too. You just got that big play, you're hyped up on the sideline, and now you miss the point. That's a bad feeling out there, and something that the Huskies are going to have to, on their sideline, now come back from. You got to have something to build on right away. I don't think Michigan Tech can afford to come up empty on this drive. They have to have something to get back into the ballgame and make this a one-score game.
Yeah, 20 unanswered by Northern Michigan here on the turf at Sherman Field. So once again, Tyler Blackburn will have it on the tee here for the Wildcats.
Ready to return the kick, number 32, Henderson.
So Henderson and Kostreva are back here again for Michigan Tech. We've seen quite a few kickoffs here wearing white in this second half. And a bit of a silence falling over things here at Sherman Field. Still plenty of time left in this one.
Oh, I can hear those Northern Michigan fans on the other side. They're definitely ready to make some noise right now.
Well, the Miners Cup Series has been dominated by Michigan Tech since its inception back in 2002. And I know the Wildcat players and coaching staff a little tired of hearing about it, as Henderson will again let it trickle into the end zone. It'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, actually, Michigan Tech is looking for a little bit of history here tonight, too, Mark. Only 2 previous times in the history of this rivalry have the Huskies won 6 games in a row. And right now, the Huskies are at 5. So they would have a chance tonight to be able to equal that mark as the best streak for Michigan Tech in the rivalry's history. Now, it's not the best in the rivalry.
Right.
Because Northern Michigan rattled off 17 in a row in a long-standing streak that dated all the way back to the Eisenhower administration. So pretty tough to match that one, but Michigan Tech's still a long way right now from building to number 6. That's a long way to go to 17 if you can't get that far.
2:34 to go, third quarter. An eternity of time here for Brandon Cowie in the offense of Michigan Tech. But like you said, Dave, you want to get something positive out of this drive. As Cowie is back, he's going to cut some real estate to his right. Up near a first down, he'll slide at the 33-yard line. It'll bring up second down at about 8.
It went down kind of awkwardly on that slide, too. It didn't look like it was real comfortable when it went down. Almost like he wanted to be on the other knee when he went down there, Mark. Let's take a look. When he comes in, sees the defender coming. It's a smart move to go down, but this does not look like a textbook hook slide to me. When he goes down, yeah, that's the inside leg. Usually you're supposed to go with the outside leg at that point, aren't you? I'm not a base runner, but
I think he was looking for the base to grab onto to kind of slow him down. But either way, it's manageable here for Tech, and they come up short on the pass. Going to bring up third down at about 3 or 4.
Boy, the Northern defensive backs are jumping that out route every time now. Taking 2 steps back off the line. They're going up and attacking, looking for that same play that they got with the interception return for a touchdown. There may be an opportunity now on the outside for one of those hook and go type patterns if they're
just saying, a nice big pump fake and away you go.
Yep.
So third down and 3, 32-yard line is where the football sits here for Michigan Tech, who's kind of run into a wall here in this third quarter. More than capable, though, of getting things going once again are the Huskies.
Cats are coming here.
Cowie looks across the middle, and it's complete. And out to midfield goes Michigan Tech, and a key pickup on third down.
That's the hole that was vacated by the blitzing linebacker out there, Mark. Well diagnosed by Cowie to see the man coming on the right end and know that's the hot route to go on the inside, pick up the play on the inside of the field, get some positive yardage down there, get the first down. Good play there by Michigan Tech to move the chains.
Ian Fisher on the grab, and that'll bring up the first down for the Huskies now. You talked about them needing something positive. Looks like they're getting some of that right now. Cowie rolls left, fires near sideline. That is complete inside the Northern Michigan territory. Still on the feet, knocked out of bounds is Andrew Clark. And it's going to bring up second down to about 5.
That's a good move, too, by the Tech coaching staff to go back to Andrew Clark saying, we still trust you. We know that last play was one you'd like to have back. We're going to give you a chance to make some more plays. This is a driven player right now, breaking 1, 2, and then almost 3 tackles to move the ball up the field. Andrew Clark wants to go down and make some redeeming plays.
Huskies moving the football now, trailing 20-10 here as we wrap up the third quarter at Sherman Field in Houghton. Man in motion far side, Cowie straight back, dumps it across the middle. It is complete. Another Husky first down to about the Northern Michigan 38-yard line.
That's David Walter again, leading the team in touchdowns. Doesn't have one on that play, but like we said, his dad, a quarterback here at Michigan Tech, a record-setting one back in the 80s, and his mom, a point guard on the basketball team. This is a guy with athletics in his blood and Huskies on his shirt. You could pretty much guarantee he was going to be coming to Michigan Tech, but does have his own number. He did not take his dad's number 9 and didn't take his mom's number 24. Kind of somewhere in the middle of the two.
And didn't combine them to make 34.
No, that would be good, too.
So Cowie now moving the football, swing out of the backfield. Here come the Huskies to the Northern Michigan 30 and out of bounds. That'll be up near a Husky first down, just shy. As again, this is good movement here by Michigan Tech. This is what they needed here after that third quarter.
That's a good stiff arm by Winky on that play too, Mark. When he got out into space, making sure the first defender isn't the guy that can knock you down. Just give him a little bit of a bump. That's an extra 3 or 4 yards, and eventually as you go down the field, those little things start to add up.
Clock gets put into motion here. Ball sits the 30-yard line. Second down and short, very short for Michigan Tech. Might want to see if they shoot something deep here. As Cowie calls it out. Quick handoff goes. Williams, not much, but he didn't need much. He's going to be very, very close to, and I believe he got a Michigan Tech first down.
John Williams, the ball carrier.
May have to measure on this one as they look at it.
Nope,
they're going to let him go.
Clock stays in motion. We're down to 15 seconds to go. That may have been the final play of the third quarter. If Michigan Tech can hustle, though, they'll get one off on first down. Cowie with 7 seconds to go.
From a fullback lead to a wide out with 3 out there.
Well, here we go. Final play of the third quarter. Cowie looks. That ball is complete to the 15-yard line, and the Huskies in business to start quarter number 4. It is 20-10, Northern Michigan. Our fourth quarter should be a good one here, Dave. And again, Michigan Tech, you called it. They are looking for, and they got the opportunity now to move the football.
Well, they're mixing it up too, Mark. This is not all pass. It's not all run. They've found a way in this right now to find the balance. The balance is huge right now to make sure Northern Michigan can't tee off on one thing or another on that play. They've got ways right now. The play action is working, and things are going well.
We'll take a break. Tech by 10, or trails by 10. Fourth quarter coming up next here on TV6.
Within 3 minutes. Prize is forfeited and added to next game's winnings. All right, the winner is Brianna Gervais. Congratulations, Brianna. You have 3 minutes to claim your cash prize of $100. And the timer starts right now.
Well, the fourth quarter is going to start with a little drama here. Michigan Tech, 1st and 10 at the Northern Michigan 15-yard line.
Been a lot of scoring on this end of the field so far, Mark. Michigan Tech's hoping that's just the way it's tilted tonight.
Brandon Cowie now with a fresh set of downs and a short field to work with here. Looking, he's going to keep it. Looks to his left, a bit of a seam, and up near a first down. He's going to be about a yard short.
Rebecca Himmelstein's over on that Northern Michigan sideline. Rebecca, what's it sound like over there tonight?
Guys, it is incredible over here. Probably despite the fact only having maybe a third of the fan base here, they are probably at least 3 times as loud as this Michigan Tech side. This is a very fun group of people to be standing over here with right now. Back to you guys.
Well, I can guarantee you that Michigan Tech crowd's going to be lit up pretty good here if they get into the end zone here. 2nd and 2 from the 7. Here's Brandon Cowie again with a man in motion near sideline. Give inside. Williams bottled up for a moment, pushed the pile. He may have a first down, Dave. I believe he does. 1st and goal.
That was an interesting look from the Northern defense there, Mark. When you see the Tech man go in motion across the formation, initially his cover guy went by and would suggest it's going to be man coverage. But as soon as he got in the middle of the field, he stopped right there. And that clogged up that hole. Still enough for Williams to get the first down.
1st and goal from the 4. And the Huskies break the huddle. They'll send the receivers to the left. Tight end in near to the right side, and now man in motion across the near side of the formation. Cowie looks, give, Williams looking, diving, touchdown, Michigan Tech. And boy, did the Huskies need that one, Dave. Right back in it at 20-16 now.
What an ankle breaker stutter step in the hole. Williams looked like he was going to be stuffed right at the line. Watch the move that he makes on the Northern defender right at the 2-yard line. Zip, boop, see ya. Right past one of the best linebackers on the field, too. LJ Liston would love to have that one back. So far, it's been Levi Perry's game. We thought Liston was going to be a real factor. It's been Perry that's been the guy. You would have thought he'd made that tackle. Liston did not get the job done.
King tacks on the extra point. We've got a good one, 20-17. And the Husky kick is yours when we come back. Northern and Tech tonight on TV 6.
University Images for a total of 10% off. And 10% off your order at Domino's anytime tonight for a total of 20%. Fans had scoring drive for the Michigan Tech Huskies, covered 75 yards, took 11 plays, and 3 minutes and 40 seconds. The end result, a 5-yard touchdown run by John Williams.
Well, the party continues here in Houghton. Rebecca Himmelstein earlier, Dave, talked about how the Northern Michigan sideline was amped up and the fans over there wearing green and gold were a little bit louder than everybody else. That was remedied rather quickly here by Michigan Tech on that drive.
Hey, we like everybody to have a good time here tonight. We're happy you're watching at home, too. You're missing a whale of a football game in person, but we are privileged to be able to bring you what's going to be an outstanding fourth quarter of football.
75 yards, 11 plays, 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Williams in from 5 yards out. And now Northern Michigan's opportunity to try and answer. And back deep once again, here we go. Marcus Tucker heads to his left, heads to his right, gets wrapped up at the 15-yard line, and that's not what the Wildcats wanted on that return. They're going to start deep in their own end.
Derek Single with a good tackle there, Mark. And like we talked about, that first guy that hit him then for Michigan Tech was the one that made the tackle. That has not happened a lot tonight, so that's an improvement for the Huskies. They are fired up on their sideline, too.
13:47, it's an eternity for both of these teams. And you kind of got to sit back and think back to even like last year. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? How's this all going to wind out? How's this all going to end up? We start with that answer to that question on this drive for Northern Michigan. Shea Brown goes inside and nothing there for the Northern Michigan running attack.
There's a little more pep in the step of the Husky defensive linemen now, Mark. They are shedding those blocks up in front and finding ways to get their hands free to make sure that they can grab into the hole. It looked like there was a seam in there, but good job by the Huskies on the inside to be able to gum that up and not allow anything and even knock a yard off to make it a 1-yard loss.
3 receivers split left, single receiver to the right side, way out to the right for Northern Michigan. Harris in the backfield along with Shea Brown, and now they'll send Tucker in motion across the formation. Slap of the hands, drop back, they look Tucker, far sideline, and again, not much there. Make that Keandre Craig on the catch.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about with that interesting design on Northern Michigan's helmets, they have the big, wide yellow stripe on the front. That's a huge advantage for a quarterback like Shea Brown because he can look out and see there's yellow out there. I know my guy's looking back for the ball. If I see green, he's not looking back. Now all he's seeing is a whole bunch of noise coming from the Michigan Tech sideline, and it looks like there's some confusion right now on the left-hand side of that Northern Michigan line. Watch the Tech players attack over there. It doesn't look like they know what protection they're in.
3rd and 9. Northern Michigan deep in their own end. Shea Brown looks for a swing across the middle to Tucker. He gave a little bit of ground, but then picked it up for a first down, and a big play for the Wildcats there.
Husky defense stunted back to the inside. They saw the confusion on the left-hand side of that offensive line, but then that leaves a huge throwing lane right there for Brown. If you got a guy like Tucker, that's almost a guaranteed first down going across the middle. That's well diagnosed.
Clock spins, 12:15, 4th quarter. Wildcats 20, Michigan Tech 17 here from Sherman Field in Houghton. It went down to the wire a year ago with these two teams. Tucker out on the right flat, and again, got a block, got a first down, and Northern Michigan moving the football.
Saw that quick spin there. They want to give the look right away. When Brown comes away with the ball, he wants to look toward the left-hand sideline. He'll spin his shoulders almost immediately back to the right just to get those linebackers to freeze for a second, not be able to get that pursuit right away. That's what creates an 11-yard gain and a first down.
Well, I stand corrected. 2nd down and very short. They marked him short of the
dragged a knee.
42-yard line. They dragged the chain crew, the chain gang with them, I guess, here. Man in motion for Northern Michigan. They'll give on the inside, nothing there. And that's wrapped up beautifully by the Michigan Tech defense. Aaron Harris pretty much brought down the minute he was handed the football.
I thought there might have been a stunt going on the inside. Let's look at the line in here for Northern Michigan. Somebody pull out, yep, they're running a stunt, and the two linemen ran into each other. That's what created the hole on the inside for the Huskies to get a big tackle for loss.
3rd and 6, that pushes it back to the 36-yard line. Huskies trying to get the football back here, trailing by 3 on their home field. Last time the Wildcats were in this position, they gained the first down on a quick hitter to Marcus Tucker. Shea Brown will slap the hands. Looks like the Huskies might be bringing the house. Now they back off. Brown back. He's got plenty of time. Guns, sideline looking. Caught at the 25-yard line. And is that Keandre Craig again? Yes, he's had himself a heck of a ball game tonight. May have gotten away with just a little bit of a nudge.
Thought that was incidental down there. Once the ball gets down the field, it's really hard not to give the advantage to the receiver. He's got a few inches out there on the defensive back, and Keandre Craig able to move past Bryce Gervais, move to the inside. Gervais had to take that other step out to the sideline, respect the out route, and that gave Craig a chance to catch that ball.
Well, it's moved down to the 25-yard line. Looks like the Huskies jumped. Free play for the Wildcats, and now they'll blow the play dead. So the flags fly. Hipke was the intended receiver there for Northern Michigan, the senior out of Oconto, Wisconsin, but it's all for naught. This should be offsides against Michigan Tech.
I want to say that's only the 2nd penalty we've had in this game. Very clean.
Which I guess you don't imagine in a rivalry game, but this has been a lot of fun to watch. I mean, like you said, very, very clean tonight. Brings up 1st and 5, though.
You know, it's funny. Coach Curley talked about that because he's been in the Central and Western rivalry, which he called that's to tape up your ankles and get ready for whatever goes. These two teams respect each other. I don't think there's a lot of competition between the two recruiting bases. They definitely know each other. The Wisconsin kids know each other. The UP kids know each other. It's been a very well-played, clean game, and we love to see that.
All righty, just over 10 to go here. in regulation as they go inside on first down, and Aaron Harris is going to be up near a Wildcat first down at the 15-yard line. I believe he's got it.
Good job in there picking his way through. We talked about, hitting that hole fast. There is something to be said if the defense is sitting back a little bit. Find a way to keep your feet moving and go to where the holes are. Didn't go real fast, had the defenders on the outside, but a good job to slip out there and get another yard after tackle as well.
Just shy, second and less than a yard. Ball set at the 16-yard line, well within field goal range, Northern Michigan, but that is not what Coach Ostrowski and his staff are looking for right now. Shea Brown with Harris joining him in the backfield. And we have a whistle and our first timeout of the ball game. Charge 2, I didn't see. I believe they called the timeout Northern Michigan.
Okay, fans, here are your winning 50-50 numbers.
So at the timeout, Tech and Cats will talk it over. We'll give you a break back after these here on TV6.
Congratulations, you're the winner of $471.50. Your 50-50 raffle is sponsored every home football game by the Michigan Tech Athletic Department. By purchasing a 50-50 tonight, you have helped student athletes fundraise for their programs. Thank you for your continued support. Your prize can be claimed at the SDC Central Ticket Office. The winning number again is 139294.
Check. Mike check.
Fans, following the conclusion of tonight's game, the Miners Cup will be presented to the captains of the winning team. Please remain in your seats.
Well, you get a look at the Northern Michigan sideline as they huddle around the coaching staff. They have second down and very, very short. Ball sits at the 16-yard line of Michigan Tech.
Yeah, interesting that the play clock is not running yet either, Mark. That's usually we come back from a TV timeout, you'd see that thing going pretty quickly. But after a timeout, remember, that rule is not in effect. So they get a chance to go up there, get to the line, and get set. And now the clock will wind.
So the Wildcats want to burn some clock as well as get into the end zone here. Shea Brown on second and short here for the Wildcats. Now he's going to call out something different at the line of scrimmage. Harris in the backfield with him. Brown looking, waiting, dancing now, moving forward. He got the first down. Ball came out, but they're going to say that the ball was down. And if that mark is accurate, Dave, we've got a first down Wildcats.
I don't know where the ball went, though, on when it came loose, Mark. That's really interesting because Shea Brown's been very good at holding the ball in. It's one of those opportunities right now where, yeah, it definitely came out after he went down. And if you mark it then where the ball came down, Northern Michigan did recover that ball. So did they call it a fumble or did they call it on the I think they actually did call it a fumble, and Northern Michigan recovered it. And that's why the ball was not marked as a first down.
3rd and 1. Wildcats again within field goal range. Not what they're looking for right now, and now they'll look to the bench here. Play clock down to 4 for Northern Michigan. Shea Brown calling it out. He got the play off in time. Harris to the line of scrimmage, and he didn't get there. He is going to be, well, depends on this mark now. The linesman's walking in here from the near sideline. If that's the mark, this is going to be very, very close. Well, and they're going to say 4th and 1.
One thing that Northern Michigan was willing to do on that one, Mark, it's good if you get the first down, but if not, get that ball in the middle of the field, better spot for your kicker, and have a good opportunity to knock through 3 if that's what you're going to end up with. So best of both worlds, make sure that you've got a spot for Ryan LaBerge to set up where he likes it.
From 33 yards out to give the Wildcats a 6-point cushion. Pass back, hold is down, it's on the way, and it is good. And the Wildcats some much needed points here, but for Michigan Tech, you keep them out of the end zone. Touchdown extra point gives you the lead.
Curious to see what the Wildcat feeling is on the sidelines down in there. Rebecca Himmelstein's working that side of the field. What's the reaction after just getting 3 on that one, Rebecca?
They're not looking as excited as they probably could, but they're still saying, all right, we'll take what we can get. Slapping hands, nodding, still happy, I guess.
Oh, we talked about that word finish. Mark.
With one N.
With one N,
yes,
not
with one
two.
N.
Yeah, you get up here next to Hancock. All the Finlandia people over there. The street names in Finn, you got to watch and make sure there's an extra one. And usually when Carl Pellenpa's around, I always think two N's. So Carl not around for this one, so we'll let Northern Michigan do just the one. Now, the Michigan Tech band on that end of the field. Remember, they're going to be a factor, too, as Northern Michigan goes down toward that direction on Sherman Field to the north. They're going right into the Husky pep band, and those people will be making a little bit of noise, I'm guessing, as the Wildcats approach the end zone.
Tyler Blackburn's got it on the tee here for Northern Michigan. Of course, Michigan Tech in very capable hands with Brandon Cowie. We'll have plenty of time, 8:16 to work with, and more importantly, they've got all three of their timeouts if we ever get to that point. That's a long way down the road from here.
Curious to see how Northern Michigan deals with this. Do you boot it through the end zone or take a chance at knocking down a returner back inside the 20 and make the Huskies go further down the field?
Henderson and Kostreva back here for Michigan Tech. Blackburn approaches and bombs another one. Good grief, that's going to go right into the band. Cleared the end zone with that one, and it'll put the football out to the 25-yard line. Kicked that one almost all the way to the McGinnis.
Big thank you for James Henderson to go and retrieve the ball back there, too. That's a long way back to go pick that thing off.
So we've seen a little bit of everything here tonight, and I think we have a good idea of what we're going to get from Michigan Tech offensively here. Key for Northern Michigan?
Well, it's holding Michigan Tech from getting a 7-minute drive like they did the first time of the game and then scoring with it. They take 7 minutes off the clock and put 7 on the board. That's going to make things really difficult. We'll see if they can put Michigan Tech into a long down and distance situation.
So Cowie on the give, and they look to the left side. Not a lot, but a positive gain of about 3, and that's going to put it out to the 29-yard line.
Got to think that those backs are fresh, too, the way that they've rotated through between Miller and Williams. Nobody's really been taking a lot of the carries, and that's been one of the hallmarks of Michigan Tech teams. They've had guys like Phil Milbrath, like Jeremy Monroe, that's the workhorse back all the time. These two splitting carries out there, that's not real common for Michigan Tech.
Stacked receivers here to the right sideline. And Cowie straight back out of the shotgun. Right across the middle, it is caught and bouncing off of a tackle and getting a first down for Michigan Tech. My goodness.
David Walter just made L.J. Liston fall victim to one of the things that defensive coaches always preach. If you're going to hit somebody, wrap up. Don't just try to knock them down with your shoulder. A strong guy like Walter will have that one bounce off all the time. Got to be able to put the hands around him or he's just going to spin, get more yards, and in that case, a first down.
Big play for the Huskies as they move it out for first down. And back goes Cowie again. Just a nice little dump across the middle. This will be about 3 yards shy of a first down. But again, methodically moving the football as you talked about they needed.
That's pretty impressive for a guy who hasn't really played quarterback in 3 years to go through the progressions. Watch. It's not his intended receiver to start. Looked one way, second way, went back to the third guy coming across the middle because that was open. Take what the defense gives you. Let's work the ball down the field.
So Fisher, the sophomore, makes it second down and officially 3, 47-yard line of Michigan Tech. Here are the Huskies with 6:50, long way to go. They trail by 6 here on their home field. Cowie back, protection breaks down. He moves forward, shy of a first down, but this is going to bring up third and very, very short.
Going to be an interesting play call for both teams here now. Does Northern Michigan take the chance and send a couple extra to put the pressure in the backfield and maybe force a punt? Or do you wait to see what Michigan Tech is going to do? We know Northern Michigan, not really a read and react defense. They like to attack. Is this a spot where you attack? That's a possibility.
Third and short was a good down for Northern Michigan's defense back in the third quarter. Here's Cowie, inside handoff. Not much there. It's going to depend on the spot. I believe they're going to give him the first down by just the nose of the football.
Well, that's usually when you go to the fullback, right? Yep, they're going to give him that 1 yard because when you need 1 yard, the fullback can get you 1 yard. Not much more, but Alex Sherbanow only had to get 1 on that one. Stuck his nose in the middle. I think it might have had a little bit of a second effort in there too, Mark, that really pushed it over the line.
Clock goes back in motion, and we are down under 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. And what has been as advertised between Northern Michigan and Michigan Tech. Huskies with the football at midfield. Cowie back, guns across the middle, and right past the fingertips of the receiver. Huskies wanting a flag, maybe a late hit, nothing doing.
Cowie's pass intended for Fisher. incomplete.
Fisher certainly paid the price on that incompletion, too.
Boy, you got to watch it on those now with how much the officials want to call targeting every time they see somebody take a hit across the middle. Northern Michigan sideline intense over there. They want to make sure that this defense can get Michigan Tech off the field.
Just inside Wildcat territory. Huskies very, very capable of getting this football down into the end zone. Cowie across the middle, and it is complete. Gain of about 4. Covered nicely by the Wildcat defense. Levi Perry getting there first.
Walter with a good job to hold on to this ball, but watch, Mark, it's a defensive lineman dropping off into the double coverage for Northern Michigan. That's a big boy back there. After 8 and 11 come in are the 2 linebackers, but they've got a defensive lineman back in pass coverage, dropping off into that zone read. Michigan Tech's got to be careful when they run those little drag patterns across the middle that they're not throwing it right into the lap of a defensive lineman.
3rd and 6. Alone in the backfield is the quarterback, Brandon Cowie. He's capable of running from here. He drops back, looks, got his man across the middle. Terrific catch and a first down, almost broken up by Levi Perry. Just got there a second late for the Wildcat defense. A big first down for Michigan Tech.
3 more inches and Levi Perry was gone. He reached for that ball. David Walter took it right away from him at the last second, and instead Michigan Tech moves the chains up the field. They say it's a game of inches. It certainly was on that play.
Under 5 minutes to go here at Sherman Field. Cowie back, and that's going to be a legal procedure against the Huskies, as I think everybody had the snap count but the center.
You know, that's actually not bad, though, considering what happened on that play, Mark. I think 1st and 15 is probably better off than 2nd and 12 that you would have ended up on. So it may end up being a backhanded break for Michigan Tech on that one, that they keep the down and only have to pay the price of about 3 more yards.
But it does back it up to the 43-yard line of the Wildcats. And the clock continues to roll. It'll be 4.5 minutes by the time we get this snap underway. Cowie with a man in motion. Near sideline they look, and now Cowie straight back, guns it across the middle. It is caught and down to the 20-yard line. Almost overshot the big man, but a big first down and a nice catch. And moved by Michigan Tech, and the Huskies are in business once again to Ian Wenke.
He needed every inch of that 6'5" frame to go up and grab that ball, Mark, because it was tailor-made, sitting right in the lap of Brandon August. Had it not been grabbed by the Husky tight end, that's a great play out there to keep the drive alive for the Huskies.
Cowie alone in the backfield now. And he'll call the play out, look things over. 4 receivers left, and that's where they go. A hitch across, gain of about 6. That'll put it at the 15-yard line. And is it an advantage for Michigan Tech that that clock keeps rolling? Or if you're Northern Michigan, do you want to stop it? Where are we now as far as game and clock management go?
Boy, you got to wonder, when you're inside the red zone now, who's going to be the one that takes command of the clock? Is it possible you can score too fast here if you're Michigan Tech? That's part of the issue now in the play calling. Do you want to take some time off the clock in here and grind it down, but then run the risk that you're going to take away the momentum of your offense?
Or do you just hit it now? Cowie, give to the line and across, and a first down for Michigan Tech. It'll be 1st and goal at about the 9.
Good run there by Miller to step over the top of a fallen Wildcat defender and find a way to pick up a couple more yards on that play to move the sticks. I think we've got our answer, Mark. It's just pedal down, let's move ahead. Watch that step right in there over the top of the fallen defender. Pretty good job by the tailback there from Farmington Hills.
And again, you brought it up at the time, and you knew it might play in that missed extra point by Northern Michigan.
Oh, geez, those are just those things that come back and kill you, aren't they?
Well, Wildcats aren't dead yet. Long way to go here. As a matter of fact, Huskies not even in the end zone yet. Let's take care of business in order before we get to all of that. A timeout's going to be called here, I believe, by the Wildcat defense.
No, that was Brandon Cowie that called that one. Saw something over the middle that he really did not like, and they didn't have anything set up in the audible bank for him. So good move. You got a lot of timeouts right now. You're in a good position. Make sure this is the drive that things start to get done out there. So, if you're a veteran quarterback, maybe try to force something out there, but good job by Brandon to go back. Pull it back. Let's go talk to the coaches over there. We'll settle down, make sure we get the right thing called.
Well, looking forward for the Northern Michigan Wildcats back to the Superior Dome for back-to-back weeks. They've got Saginaw Valley State on the 3rd of October next Saturday, followed by Malone coming in on family weekend. Big for Michigan Tech, the off week, the bye week is next week before Grand Valley comes calling.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one, too, the end of the big homestand up here. And before any of that happens, you're going to be back on the air on Tuesday night with these same two schools again as we continue the rivalry series with volleyball.
Yeah, indoors on this one. And again, it's been kind of up and down for both of those clubs here in the early part of the year, but it's like any other sport. Northern Michigan, Michigan Tech getting together. That's going to be fireworks down at Vandeman Arena on Tuesday night.
Well, we have enjoyed our night outdoors here at Sherman Field and a perfect fall night for football.
Absolutely breathtaking here. And on top of that, we got a pretty good ball game with Tech knocking on the door, trying to reclaim the lead. As it is Cowie across, not a lot there. Gains about 2. And that's going to bring up second down and goal.
I think Julian Hornback might be up to 10 tackles in this game now, too, Mark. That's for a cornerback, you wouldn't normally like to see that, but he's been so good at stepping up in the middle, filling those holes. They have not been a lot of perimeter tackles, and for a corner, that doesn't happen very often. He hits the hole right now with authority, and he's been very good back there, the junior from Allegan.
So here we go. Clock continues to roll. 2:19, 2:18. Sherman Field coming to life. Here's Cowie dropping back. He looks, end zone, got it! Touchdown, Michigan Tech. And who better than the young man you've been talking a lot about tonight? Walter with the catch, and Michigan Tech ties it, and now a chance with the extra point to take the lead.
Boy, he had to fight for this ball, too. That was a big move to go up twice. A chance in there for the Wildcats to knock it away. That's just great concentration by David Walter to hold on to that ball for what's going to be the go-ahead touchdown if this goes through. Michigan Tech with that missed extra point, now with the advantage and 2 minutes to go. Walter had the game-winning touchdown in the opener this season. Now, does he have a second one coming into the fourth game of the season?
Or do we see a turnaround from last year where Northern Michigan late in the fourth quarter got the equalizer at the Superior Dome, only for the Huskies to come down and kick the 39-yarder to win it at the end? Will fortunes be reversed? Our final 2 minutes and 10 seconds is going to tell us a lot.
Isn't this great? We're having a lot of fun up here. That Husky sideline went from morose to erupting very quickly, too. In fact, a couple of the coaches had to hold back the players from going onto the field to celebrate on that one, which would be an infraction penalty. Things have calmed down a little bit on the Northern Michigan sideline over there, but they know this isn't over with. They've had a couple drives that have been really short, too. Remember, that drive that ended the first half took just 2 minutes and 22 seconds. The Cats went 77 yards. This is certainly not out of the question. You got 2 timeouts and a quarterback like Shea Brown who can get into rhythm.
And you got to be careful here too, because you're kicking to Marcus Tucker, who has been very fleet of foot here for the Wildcats. Do you even kick it that direction, or do you try and bomb it deep? And the answer is kick it to the far sideline, and it goes into the end zone. Break for the Huskies. That was flirting with the sideline, but that'll put the ball at the 25-yard line, and so the Wildcats now 2:10 and a couple of timeouts remaining.
Boy, you just never know where that ball's going to hop. If it hits someplace inside the 10, will it pop up where it's going to give the receiver a chance to bring it back? Will it be out for a 30-yard placement? You just never know when it bounces like that. Now the Husky sideline asking for noise up here from the big crowd on the hill at Sherman Field. They are fired up down there on the Michigan Tech half of the field.
Well, you always want to find Marcus Tucker on the field. He is split to the left. Shea Brown has Harris in the backfield with him.
They've changed up, and Deontay Craig now being covered by Cedric Jones on the far side.
Brown is back. He runs out of time. There's Tucker. Near sideline, waiting. He got popped after a gain of about 5. Did not get out of bounds.
Not necessarily a bad thing right now. Lots of time left. You want to save those 2 timeouts for where you need them. More than likely called 2 plays in the huddle, intending that they would be needing one right away.
So they set the ball in play. Under 2 minutes to go here, fourth quarter. Wildcats need about 50, 60 yards to get into decent field goal range. Shea Brown steps up, runs out of time, keeps it alive, first down, and he'll bite the dirt here at the 38-yard line.
That might be a career doubling run for Shea Brown. Just does not run with the ball. But with that kind of room, there were no Husky defenders within about 20 yards of the middle of the field. Once he got by that initial rush in there, had a blocker with him, you know what? Let's go get that first down and pick it up.
Looked like the Wildcats may have jumped, but there's no flags. Big hit far sideline, but the Wildcats gain about 7 on the play.
Plenty of time left. 1:21 on the clock with 2 timeouts. That's an easy way to move down the field. Good play by Northern to get back on the line, run that play quickly, and get to the sidelines. That was well done by the Wildcat offense, an efficient play.
Clock stops on the out-of-bounds play with $1:21 to go here, fourth quarter. 24-23 Tech here on their home field in Houghton tonight on just a breathtaking fall evening for college football.
Huskies dropping 7, only bringing 4.
Shea Brown, nowhere to go with it. He's going to have to dodge out of harm's way. To the sideline, it's complete inside Tech territory at the 44.
Keontae Craig again, feast or famine. This time it's the feast. Kept the both feet in on that one. Only need 1 in college football. Pretty good job by the Northern Michigan offensive line to give the time to Brown to go down and find Craig on what was a broken pattern. That was the break off, go back. If I need you, come back to this side on the out route. Great play by Northern Michigan.
We're looking at about 20 to 25 yards to get into good field goal range. But again, no wind to speak of tonight. The air's getting a little bit heavy as the dew starts to collect on the grass. Here comes the rush from Michigan Tech, and they got to Shea Brown and a loss on the play of around 10.
Well, that time they brought more than 4. Paul Quapala shooting through the middle of the field. I don't think Northern Michigan expected that because there was nobody. After the center snapped the ball, looks on the side and just says, hello, here's your path to our quarterback to knock him down and cause a timeout from the Northern Michigan sideline, and now a 2nd down and long situation. But still, you got 3 downs to work with right now. You got to be able to move it past there. No way that you can kick a field goal from outside the 35-yard line.
So everybody kind of settles back down here at Sherman Field in what has just been a great ball game here tonight. 24-23 Michigan Tech. We've gone back and forth. Wildcats at one time 20 straight unanswered to make it 20-10. And it has just been back and forth since that point. We're down to our final minute 4, as you see, as some concern now for one of the Husky players is getting some treatment out here on the field. May have just been cramping up a little bit. It's that kind of evening. And quickly back up is the Huskies. Since that was during the timeout, he doesn't have to leave the ball game.
Well, but he will this time. They want to make sure that he's ready to go on that side. That's one of their defensive backs on the outside, Jalen Williams-Boone. So we'll see if Northern Michigan diagnose that and they can go attack the backup, Antoine Curtis.
2nd and 18. Shea Brown, not much of a rush. He gets it up ahead and inside Michigan Tech territory to the 40-yard line. Under a minute to go. The clock stays in motion.
Good play by Craig, though, to pick up a lot of yardage on that play, Mark. It's a very manageable now 3rd and about 7.
We're going to be at about 40 seconds to go by the time we get this play off. Shea Brown trying to assemble his troops here for the Wildcats, trying to move the football into field goal range. A lot of time starting to escape off this clock here for the Wildcats. Brown looks, sideline, it is complete and out of bounds, and a great play by Marcus Tucker. And inching their way. They're in field goal range, but it'd be a long one from here.
That's a great play by Tucker. Watch him settle underneath, got the guy to clear out, went straight to the marker, knew exactly where it was, and then stepped out of bounds. It's a veteran play.
Who's going to grab the hardware this weekend?
It's waiting down on the field. The Miners' Cup will be presented after the game, and we still have no idea which sideline it's going to end up on.
28 seconds. Tucker, far sideline, got a block, got upfield. He's still in bounds. 20 seconds and counting. Wildcats looking things over. What's going to happen here? Clock still spinning. Wildcats burning a lot of time. Shea Brown's only got 10 seconds on the clock. And they look, and they wait. Sideline, out of bounds with 3 seconds to go. From here, you're looking at about a 45-yard field goal try.
Boy, that's tough clock management at that time in the game there, Mark. You've got the timeout in your pocket. I think you had to use it at that point, but it is going to be a field goal attempt now to win the game. Maybe for the kid who grew up right here in Houghton down the road from Sherman Field.
Wouldn't that be something else? Timeout Michigan Tech. They've got 2 of them to burn to try and ice the hometown kid. Would you have it any other way, Dave?
Well, last year it was Michigan Tech that had the chance. This year it's Northern Michigan with the chance to do it. This has been one heck of a football game, Mark. Both ways, both teams, neither one of them has done anything but really distinguish themselves. It's going to be a crime that somebody can't go home with the Miners' Cup trophy from this game, because I think both teams have done enough to earn the trophy tonight.
Well, this is going to be back-to-back years where a toss-up. And you come down literally to the last play of the game and watch for possibly Michigan Tech to take their next time out here as well.
Well, the right footer started at Houghton High School. He ended up at Lantz. He hit a lot of big kicks in his high school career right here in this town, just up the road at Alumni Field. This is the biggest one of his life so far.
From 45. Pass back is good. It is blocked by Michigan Tech. The Huskies block it as time expires, and the Miners' Cup will continue its life here in the Copper Country.
I don't know if the ball had enough height to be able to get there, Marco. What penetration by the Huskies coming through the middle of the field. A dejected bunch of Wildcats on that side of the field. You feel for them because they played a great ball game, did everything that they needed to do, and made the plays except for the last one at the end.
Take a look at the trajectory off of this. Everything was perfect. He needed a low ball for distance. He needed to have it a little bit low, but
Tanner Egan with the hand up on the inside of the line was the one that ended up with the block. And the athletic director from Michigan Tech, Suzanne Sandregret, has the Miners' Cup on the field, and she'll be presenting it to the Michigan Tech Huskies after the traditional handshake after the game. Always great to see these teams shake hands after just a fantastic football game.
We will have some highlights for you, and of course the Miners' Cup presentation here at Sherman Field in Houghton as they get things all lined up here. But boy, you can't say enough about these two teams. We'll take a break and get things underway in our postgame here in just a moment. Northern Michigan and Michigan Tech, the Huskies by 1 at Sherman Field. Back in a moment on TV6. Michigan Tech 24, Northern Michigan 23. Anytime you play for hardware, Dave, it adds a certain element to it. The jubilation a little bit greater. And in this case, back-to-back years for Northern Michigan, the heartbreak a little bit harder to take.
Well, that trophy is going to stay right here in Houghton where it was discovered, as the athletic director, Suzanne Sanderget, will hand it over to her guys. And if you had 2 trophies, I'd be willing to give one to Northern Michigan tonight, Mark, because they played a whale of a football game. But full credit to Michigan Tech, because this was a game that they could have easily said, you know what, streak's over here, guys. We can fold the tent. They didn't do that. They came back down, had that chance to go down and stuff the ball in the end zone. They did just that. It's a well-done job by the Huskies to come up with a great football win.
Well, it was a game of streaks, 10-0 Michigan Tech, a 20-point run by the Wildcats, and then, of course, the Huskies come back. Key play, and you hate to look at it because there's so many different plays in a ball game, but you knew that missed extra point might come into play, and sure enough on the scoreboard, that was the difference right here tonight.
Well, when guys like us can realize how important those are right away, that really says something. And we diagnosed it pretty quickly, and I'm sure that Ryan LaBerge has got to be feeling just awful right now with the way that this game went, because now those are the two things that decided the game are the missed extra point and the blocked field goal. But he actually, I thought, played a pretty good game out there. Good with his foot. It's a lot of pressure to be able to get into this kind of a situation, and it's always difficult to come back to your hometown when you're playing for the other team. So my heart goes out right now to Ryan LaBerge, because he doesn't deserve to feel as bad as he probably does right now.
So a big pile of black jerseys out there on the logo at center field, and see the coaching staff kind of talking it over. And again, congratulations to the Huskies. It's really been kind of interesting here, Dave. Like you said earlier in the telecast tonight, this series was dominated by Northern Michigan. All of a sudden, they bring this Miners helmet out of there. They put it on a block of wood and something silly like that. Not so silly. Michigan Tech has really kind of taken that opportunity and run with it for the last 10, 12 years.
You're starting to think, where were these people that were supposed to be running around in these shops trying to find an artifact right away that we can play for? Why don't we time travel back about 20 years and have you guys stop this streak a little earlier? But now the 43rd win in the rivalry for Michigan Tech. They now have a 2-game lead over the top of Northern Michigan. And now look at this, too. How big is it for this school? This is a big deal. When the pep band comes out and they will surround everybody out there, Coach Curley talking to everybody on the field. Northern Michigan very classy to stay around for the situation out there, watch the trophy presented. That's always tough in a rivalry game like this. But, man, that is a sea of humanity down there. And if they can hear Tom Curley, that's a pretty barking voice out there, because he's talking about
I'm doubtful he has much left.
Yeah, but 20 deep out there, and they're all paying attention. And they should be, so that's great.
Well, here's how it unfolded.
So here's how we started out. A touchdown for the kid from Marquette. Alex Sherbanow with the first score of the game for the Huskies. They came back with a field goal on the other end, 10-0 lead. But that's where we thought things started to turn around when Northern Michigan held this down to just a field goal at that point. As we ended the first half, Marcus Tucker taking over, a couple of moves in there, and he's gone. That's a great play for the Northern wideout, and a good job to give them some momentum going into the half. They certainly built on it, too. Stopped Tech the first time they had the ball and went right back and hit Keontae Craig in the back of the end zone to take the lead for Northern Michigan for the first time in the ball game. Then, what we thought was going to be the decider, the interception in front of his own bench and returning that all the way down the field for a score. That's a big play from Brandon August, and you thought Northern Michigan had all the momentum at that point. Well, the Huskies in the fourth quarter marched it back down the field. Good play on that one by the tailback, John Williams, to cut the deficit back down. Remember, we had that missed extra point, and then the last play over there, that one a field goal from Northern Michigan. That was a big play on that drive for Northern to only end up with the field goal, because that gave the opportunity for David Walter to come up with the catch in the end zone. That tied the game. Michigan Tech took the lead on the extra point, then the blocked field goal settled it as Michigan Tech ends up with a 1-point victory. Rebecca Himmelstein is down on the field with some of the heroes of the game for the Huskies.
I don't know where they are. I can't see anything. This is a day, it's not a good day to be a short person. But you know where, wait, let's see. Hold on, we'll find him. We'll find him. Hold on.
This is live TV, folks. That's what happens when you're in a crowd of about 1,000 of your best friends down in the middle of the
Tanner! field. Let's see, Hold on, we'll find him.
So as she's looking around, we'll still talk a little bit about that last play too. Tanner Egan was the last guy to get a hand on that ball, Mark, and a good job out there to end up on this one. And Rebecca's working hard down there trying to find these guys on the field. The senior class for Michigan Tech now leaves without ever having lost to the Northern Michigan Wildcats, and that's the third class in a row that can say that.
Well, as Rebecca digs her way through all of those black jerseys down there, 377 total yards of offense for Michigan Tech, 360 for Northern Michigan. And one of the stats that really jumps out in this one, 3 penalties, period, in the football game. Very clean game tonight.
And none of them were really, no personal fouls in it at all either. You're talking about just offside penalties and maybe a procedure here and there, just the little tiny ones. Nothing nasty in this game. Just a well-played, fun football game. And Rebecca's now got one of the heroes on defense down there, Tanner Reagan.
I found him. He's tall. I eventually found him, right? You got number 94, Tanner Reagan. How are you feeling right now?
It feels great to win one like that. We won one like that last year, and we happened to step up on that field goal block.
Walk us through those last 3 seconds. What were you seeing?
Well, that right guard on the field goal team, he's been soft all game, and I've been able to run right through him. And they were calling right block, and normally we have our other 2 guys there, and me and Evan Meyer were on that right side, and I think he got the first hand on it. I got another hand on it, so that's how it happened.
How does it feel to be a senior to get this win against this team here at home?
It feels great. 6 straight for this program, 5 straight for me here, and couldn't be more proud of the D-line and everybody else a part of this team.
Congratulations. Have fun celebrating. You deserve it.
Oh,
We'll send it back to you guys.
All righty. So, again, a big night here of football at Sherman Field in Houghton. And, again, the home faithful heading out very, very happy after this one as Michigan Tech wins it by a final of 24-23. So, our next telecast of many we have actually coming up here. We open with football. We've got volleyball this season, both home and away. Northern Michigan up first at Vandeman Arena on Tuesday. Hockey's going to be here before you know it, sir.
It's like a month away, and we've got these 2 teams on the ice. It's going to be a fun year. Boy, we ended with such a great bang last year with that hockey series.